Apparently, some of my destinations have errors. I don't know what they are. But welcome to Bracket Bastards, a podcast where we take a bracket of 32, 64, 128 or more and banter our way down to a winner. I am your humble host. As always, I am the Mr. Fantastic himself, Freddie Fisher. And this is, Brian.
Bracket Bastards. Is that what I was supposed to do?
No, this is where you introduce yourself there, sir. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
You're not that high yet. Come on.
I know, not at all. Maybe that's the problem. Hey, guys, I'm Brian from thedailydank.com. I'm the Dank Bastard, and thank you guys for tuning in and watching.
Jamie.
And here's your mouthiest bastard making a little comeback. I've been gone. Trust me, I'm here to fuck some shit up again, so let's have a good time.
And we have a returning bastard, and I am super, super happy to have him come back. He went out, did his own thing, did a hell of a good job, too, actually. I've been listening to his shows. They're absolutely fantastic shows, all of them. He's very, very good guy. Jeremy has returned to the Bastard Kingdom. How are you doing there, sir?
Oh, your favorite drink swilling token bastard has returned to return his throne as the ODB, the old dirty bastard. So, ladies, put that second pair of panties in your purse because you're gonna need them.
And introduce your guest here, sir.
And of course, I can't come back without someone I met along the way over the last couple weeks, actually. The music god himself. And when I say music god, I mean a fucking music god. CJ Plain.
What's up, guys?
Nice.
Short and sweet. And last on our list, Brad, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I am the host of the podcast, The Fandemic, where I do all sorts of fun stuff. I'm also known as the Emperor, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, so you can call me the Bastard of Awesome. Or the Awesome Bastard, whatever works better.
Well, the best bastard of them all is not here this week, so I guess you can go ahead and take that moniker from him.
I'm going to say, cue the Miz music of awesome.
Yeah, but we're not going to go into the entire Tiny Balls conversation. I am glad to have you guys here this week. We are dedicating this show to one of my favorite genres of all time, and that is superhero movies. I can't call it superhero movies. We did this a while back, and there's an entire thing. It's like they're not all superhero movies, so we're going comic book movies. And this is a rebastard episode because the last time we did this, it sucked. It really did. It was one of the worst shows we've ever done. The sound quality wasn't there. It was a basic shit show, and I didn't really agree with the winner. So we are coming down. This is episode 1. We're splitting in 2 this week. So I will not be voting because we only have 6 people here today currently. If somebody else decides to join us, they have that information. So Brian will be starting us off right now, and we have a plan. Well, we have 3 plans. We'll be starting with those, and that is Thor versus Thor Ragnarok.
Ooh. You know what? I grew up on Thor. That was like the Thor, Punisher. Those were my 2 big ones as a kid. And even though the Thor original movie stuck with that comic vibe, I really like Ragnarok. I think it brought the Thor series back out of like almost being deleted, like being done. So I'm going to say Ragnarok.
Ragnarok gets a vote. Before we go any further, I do got to let you guys know and everybody else out there, we have a special rule on this show called blowing your load if you are one of the first people to go and do not want to be one of the first people to go. I wouldn't recommend it on a play-in matchup because that will just get you laughs. You can go ahead and blow your load. You can use this one time per show. If you're one of the first people to go, do not want to be one of the first people to go, you can go ahead and blow your load and be the last person to go. We're going to start something this week. If it goes well, it would be we might go ahead and keep it. You can blow your load if you want to go first, but you're not one of the first people to go first as well. I'm going to call this. I'm going to I'm going to call it a premature load. You can do one or the other. You can blow your load or do a premature load. A premature load is if you want to give your vote early to try to sway the rest of the people because you don't think your vote's going to win, you're going to have to prematurely blow your load. And I just
feel
can't
like you
wait.
should yell "oopsie" really loud.
Just call it a premature ebraculation.
Ebraculation. That's pretty awesome.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to stick with that. If you would like to use an ebraculation, that's gonna take some little bit. But if you would like to use that, just go ahead and do the same thing. But you will lose your final swing or the blowing your loads on that same premise as well. So be careful. Brian is going to go with Thor Ragnarok on this one. Jamie, is it Ragnarok or Thor?
I don't know. There's something about Ragnarok that really kind of got me, and I would assume the rest of the audience, pretty excited for Thor again. And who doesn't like saying Ragnarok? So there's my vote.
Thor Ragnarok gets another vote. Jeremy, is it Thor or Thor Ragnarok?
Well, I mean, the original Thor was badass as hell, and it also gave us Hawkeye. But Thor Ragnarok was the first of the team-up movies because Hulk was in it too. So, and Taika Waititi is a fucking genius when it comes to directing. So it's Ragnarok all fucking day. I mean, it was after the shit show that was Dark, whatever, Thor: The Dark Place, where the fuck it was called. I don't even
Dark
know.
World, yeah.
Dark World. Like after that shit show, like Ragnarok did revamp it. Dinky one is right.
Thor Ragnarok gets the third vote and the win on this one. But CJ, what is yours?
Yeah, I'd probably go Ragnarok as well. Just because the Viking in me likes, like you said, the Viking in me likes saying Ragnarok.
and they took the most badass Norse mythology story ever to turn into a movie. So yeah.
And Brad, finish us out.
All right, man. So on one hand, you have Kenneth Braga directing Thor 1, which is one of the original Marvel movies. But on the other hand, you have Taika Waititi bringing it home with Ragnarok. And one thing that wasn't stated from anybody else is Ragnarok also gave you not only the Hulk, but Jeff Goldblum into the Marvel universe. There is no option. It is Ragnarok.
Our opening salvo brings us a 5-0, which, as always, Jeremy, what is that?
I believe we call that a sweep.
And that is an excellent way to restart your bastard dumb back home. Jamie, starting us off on this one, and it's our number 2 of the 3 play-in matchups. We have X-Men Days of Future Past or X-Men First Class.
Man, I love X-Men. Like, I almost wore my X-Men shirt. First Class versus what?
Days of Future Past.
I want to say I've probably sat down and watched First Class more than once, and I can remember that one better. So I'm just going to go with First Class. Either way, it's X-Men, and I'm happy with this. So
First Class gets a vote. Jeremy.
First Class wasn't the best class, put it that way. And they also didn't stick to the comic books and actually have the real First Class in it. They changed all the characters mainly except for like 2. So I 100% am going to go with Days of Future Past because they stuck to the comic book so much better with that. And plus, I got my favorite little person actor to be in it too as the guy who ends up fucking Wolverine over big time. So
here's a tie game. CJ, Days of Future Past or First Class?
Future Past all day. I don't like young Xavier. It's just, I don't know. There's something about his acting in that role that just kind of,
Brad?
So I liked First Class as kind of that soft reboot, but the new generation of the X-Men movies did get a lot of things wrong. As a matter of fact, like you go from Michael Fassbender to Ian McKellen in like a matter of 4 years. So I want to see the movie that does that. But Days of Future Past, was it a perfect adaptation? No. We didn't get enough Bishop. They used Wolverine instead of Kitty Pryde. But Days of Future Past, we had both casts. We had James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart. We had Ian McKellen. We had Michael Fassbender. We had all that. So Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past gets to vote and the win on this one. Brian, finish us out.
I'm gonna say Days of Future Past. I love that. I like First Class because I like the whole origin thing, but I think Days of Future Past was just done way better.
Brian, for you, wouldn't it be Days of Future Past?
It would definitely.
All right, Jeremy starts us off on the third and final play-in matchup, and we have Ant-Man versus Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well, one, the fact that Quantumania is on, this is pissing me off. But
sorry.
But honestly, I mean, both these movies are like in the same place in my head. But so I gotta go with the first one because as much as they fucked it up by not having Hank Pym be the first Ant-Man in the Marvel universe, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as much as they fucked that up, like the first one was just better because of Michael Pena's freaking amazing stories. So.
I would like to shout out Dre from the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. He's the one that gave me this list. There was 104 superhero movies or comic book movies on this list. So I brought it down to 70, which means there are 34 movies that was on his list that didn't make this list. So I had to make some cuts. Quantumania wasn't on that list either. So.
It didn't come out when he made that list. That's why.
Yeah, I think that's why. So Ant-Man does get a vote on that one. CJ?
I've only got one comment. Walton freaking Goggins. Period. The Wasp. It's anything Walton is in gets my vote automatically. That man is probably the best actor in all of Hollywood. So yeah. Wasp. All the way.
Ant-Man and the Wasp gets your vote?
Yes.
Okay. Just for clarity purposes. Brad, Ant-Man and the Wasp or Ant-Man?
Man, so I look at them both at about the same level. So I'm like Jeremy. I'm just gonna go straight to bring out that original. They set up the characters. You say that Hank Pym wasn't the first, but they did retcon that though a little bit. But you know what? Yeah, Ant-Man, first one. Let's go original.
Ant-Man gets a vote. Brian.
I'm going to have to say the original. I like them both a lot, but I think the original Ant-Man was like something we really hadn't seen yet. I can't remember if Guardians were before or after Ant-Man, but that like kind of adding humor into
before.
It was it before? Okay, so we had kind of seen it, but I think Ant-Man took it. I think Paul Rudd established that character really sound, so I'm going to have to go original Ant-Man.
Ant-Man gets a vote and the win. Jamie finishes out.
I have to agree. I mean, Paul Rudd really gave it extra. I mean, between Guardians of the Galaxy and the humor there, Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds and his humor, you add in Paul Rudd. I'm a huge fan of him. But I really like Ant-Man versus Wasp because you get to see more of his story about his family, his relationship with his daughter, and that kind of different background. I really like how Ant-Man and Wasp, the direction they went and the storyline in that, but I really like how Ant-Man, the original, just kind of set it up for the next few. So
the first one was all about his daughter's relationship.
Right, that's what I said. I like it.
You said okay. First, you may seem like you're calling it Ant-Man versus Wasp instead of Ant-Man.
No, that movie versus the Ant-Man and Wasp movie. Like I like the first Ant-Man because of that reason.
Okay.
It is a 4-1 victory for Ant-Man. We'll be moving on to the first round. Speaking of the first round, we are starting this off, and CJ starts us off. We have Thor Ragnarok, which won the play-in matchup against Thor in a sweep versus Hulk. This is not the Incredible Hulk. This is Hulk. This is the
Ed Norton.
the Ed Norton version.
Ed Norton version versus
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. I'm gonna go Hulk. There's something about the Norton one that this had some really cool effects in it, and that was the one that had Eli Roth, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Eli Roth played a really great character in that, man. Like, he's another one. Like, no matter what role you put him in, he just really shines in it. So, I'm gonna go Hulk.
Hulk gets a vote. Brad.
So now, is it Hulk, the Eric Bana Hulk, because that was the name of that one, or was it the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton?
Is it Norton one?
Okay, so the Incredible Hulk. Okay,
Okay.
100% Ragnarok, better movie in every way. Takai Waititi, and I mean, the Incredible Hulk's so bad they couldn't even get Edward Norton to keep playing him because he would have played it better than what's the idiot's name? Mark Ruffalo. I'm not a fan of him. So, but yes, we will go Ragnarok because it was a world destroyer.
It is a tied game between the two. Right.
I'm gonna go with Hulk for the opposite reason, for what might have been. Man, they set that up to be like a juggernaut. If Edward Norton just would have, whatever, I don't know what the problems were behind the scenes or whatever, but I mean, you had the introduction to line. It would have been great.
Yeah. You're gonna have to go back a little bit because you froze right in the middle of that.
Oh, at the end of Hulk, you had the tease of the Red Hulk, and at the end of the bar and all that. So there's a lot there. I just wish that they would have been able to extend that storyline longer. So I'm going to go with Hulk just for the opposite reason, for what might have been.
Hulk gets a vote on that one, Jamie.
I have to say this is probably an unpopular opinion of mine, but the Hulk and a few other comic book movies I really was never impressed with. I mean, I do prefer Edward Norton over Mark for playing the Hulk, but I don't know. I just guess I get annoyed and bored with smashing shit. It's just a stale, not a stale character or storyline. It just wasn't as exciting as Thor Ragnarok. That one got you excited and kind of jumping in your seat a little bit more than I think the Hulk can do, Edward Norton or not. So, Thor.
It is a tie game coming down to Jeremy.
Well, see, Jamie, you're not a guy, so you don't know. That's why you don't like to smash things. But I will personally say that this is a fucking toss-up for me. And, just so you know, the reason Norton left is because he wanted to do scripts that focus more on the Hulk's personal trauma more than, like, comic book storylines. So he didn't like the way they wrote the next movie. That's why he didn't do it. Or why they didn't like the way they did him in Avengers. But, I mean, it's a tough one because it's one of my favorite Thor movie. Yeah, favorite Thor movie, I'd say. And I liked Edward Norton as the Hulk, but I think Mark Ruffalo plays Bruce Banner better. And I don't think Norton could have pulled off Smart Hulk like an Endgame. I don't think Norton could have pulled that off.
I have to agree. I do agree with you on that.
So, and that was going to come eventually because that came in the comic books eventually. So I'm going to go with Thor Ragnarok because, I mean, it's just, as much as I love that Hulk movie, it's just, and it did give us Abomination for the She-Hulk series, which was great. But still, I mean, it's just, Ragnarok's a better movie overall. And you got Stan Lee as a fucking haircut robot. That's awesome.
Thor Ragnarok moves on in a split vote, 3-2, into the second round. Brad starts us off, and we have X-Men versus X-Men 2.
That's an easy one. That is going to be X-Men 1 all the way. We got so many good characters starting out. I mean, we got the Wolverine. We had a good Rogue. The only real thing that X-Men 1 was missing was Gambit, and then we would have had all the feels from the 90s animated series. Man, I mean, we the casting for Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, dude, they played that out so well. They put so much gray into Magneto that it was just amazing. X-Men.
X-Men 1 gets a vote on that one. Brian.
Oh man, I'm trying to think back. I remember the hype around X-Men 2. Um, you guys are a little more date friendly than I am. Did X-Men precede or supersede Iron Man?
X-Men was before everything. It was in 2000.
Yeah, it was
So-
it was one of the first ones.
Yeah, so that was really set the standard for superhero movie, like at that point, right? I mean, like everything was kind of comic booky, a little cheesy, up until that. I'm gonna say original X-Men then. I mean, they really set the standard for what a superhero movie is.
The first modern day superhero movie was probably Blade.
Yeah.
Yep, 1999.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, Blade.
Or Howard the Duck. It could be argued.
No,
that was
no, because Howard the Duck was like in '85 or something like that, and even Batman, like the '89 Batman and like Batman Returns and stuff, was in like late '80s. So I would go the modern day superhero movies would have been started off with like Blade, because Blade was like the first R-rated super person movie. So
Yeah.
X-Men does get a second vote on that one, Jamie.
Oh, you brought up Gambit, and it just gives me my Chansey vibes. So shout out to my boy Chansey, because he loves his Gambit. I'm gonna go X-Men 1. I mean, I love all the X-Men movies, honestly. So I'm not gonna be mad about any of them losing or whatever. So we'll just go with the first one.
X-Men 1 moves on with a vote of 3-0 so far. CJ. Or sorry, Jeremy. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of pisses me off because X-Men 1 was great and I love it, but X-Men 2, the whole freaking scene of Stryker's people trying to take over the mansion and Colossus busting through fucking walls and like saving all the young mutants, like that's classic out of the comic book shit. And it goes into Wolverine's backstory, which everybody knows Wolverine is the X-Men. Like, he is the main character in the X-Men always. It's always about his trauma. So, it's X-Men 2. I mean, plus the guy who played Stryker, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he did a great job.
So, X2 gets Jeremy's vote. Say hi to your dogs for
I was
there,
gonna say,
Jeremy.
I think they're in the background battling out between 1 and 2 also.
I know, right?
And I love how you can see none of it because he's got a pristine house behind him in the background.
Yeah. Total facade. CJ finishes out.
They were in their freaking cage. They were in one cage together trying to fight. So
they're not humping anymore?
no, now he's behind her trying to get it in.
My kind of relationship. CJ, finish this out.
I was actually managing a movie theater when the original X-Men come out, and I seen that thing probably 357 times. So we're gonna go original X-Men just because, kind of a cool nostalgia of a really good time in my life. So
X-Men 1 moves on 4-1 to the next round. Brian starts us off. We have Spider-Man Homecoming versus Spider-Man Far From Home.
am I starting or?
No, Brian.
Oh, Brian,
Nope.
sorry.
Which one? Homecoming is
Homecoming
who
is
was-
Vulture. Far From Home is Mysterio.
Okay, I'm gonna say Homecoming. I really liked Homecoming. I thought we saw it in the theater. I think we were on vacation with my kids. It was like everyone. It was that old school kind of vibe when you're a kid and everyone reacts to the screen, and ooh ah, and I really liked it. I liked the way they incorporated everything from the other realms and stuff. I'm gonna go. What is it? Spider-Man Homecoming.
Homecoming gets a vote. Jamie.
Here I can tie in my unpopular Hulk opinion to my unpopular Spider-Man opinion. I've never been overly excited about the Spider-Man movies. I don't know why, but I have to say the last few of the Spider-Mans and the excitement around it got me interested, and I did prefer Homecoming over Far From Home. I don't recall ever finishing Far From Home, so that's why I'm not voting for it.
You never hit the Mile High Club, Jamie?
Actually, no.
Homecoming gets a vote. Jeremy, Homecoming, Far From Home.
I mean, the only good thing about Far From Home was Nick Fury being in it, and someone else knocks on that door, I'm gonna shoot them. But I mean, other than that, like Homecoming was a great start to another soft reboot in the Spider-Man series. Even though they all tied them together in the newest one, I can't think what the fuck it's called at this point. But No Way Home. But Homecoming was pretty good, and here's my unpopular opinion, Jamie. Michael Keaton's best superhero movie role ever.
No.
Oh, because you know how I feel about Batman. Oh, I still like you. Gosh dang it.
I was just talking about that today, actually. So you're going with Homecoming as well, or Far From Home?
Homecoming, because I mean, imagine trying to smash a girl on prom and her dad's your supervillain.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, they always technically are in a way anyway, but still, like a real supervillain.
CJ, Homecoming, Far From Home.
This is the one I was dreading the most. I am absolutely not a Tom Holland fan. I fell asleep multiple times trying to watch both of these movies. I don't know, Far From Home, I guess. Frankly, I've seen about 30 minutes of each one. I detest them both, so I really care less.
Good news for you is one of them stays in round one. So, Brad, finish us up.
All right. So I'm a big fan. I actually like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think it's kind of good, fresh breath in the whole Sony Marvel kind of getting along thing. Plus, we got Tony Stark in some of that Homecoming in there as well. So we're gonna do the Homecoming.
Homecoming wins 4-1, moves on to the next round. Jamie starts us off. We have Captain Marvel versus Captain America.
I think we're gonna go with Captain America here.
I'm not going to release what Jamie is holding because just in case if people from our place of work are watching. So, Jeremy, Captain Marvel, Captain America.
I mean, as much as I like Captain Marvel, and I did think Brie Larson did a decent job at it, Captain America is just amazing. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones as the colonel in the army camp. Tommy Lee Jones did an amazing job in that movie, and plus it was a good origin piece for Captain America. So, Captain America.
Captain America gets a vote. CJ.
Oh, Captain America all the way. Not even close.
Brad?
Man, I agree. Even though Captain Marvel was set in the 90s, she was wearing a 9-inch nail shirt for the majority of the movie. Man, Captain America, like, how can you stray from that? Like the iconic origin, the how they made Chris Evans look so weak, and then pumped him full of the super serum and made him the Boy Scout that we all love, especially Jamie. So yeah, we gotta go Captain America. There might be some blowing smoke around, right?
She's taking her.
Does anybody else feel awkward about how they made him look small again?
That's so cute.
I mean, it's called shrinkage, Jamie. It happens when you go in the pool.
I'm sure you know all about that, Jeremy. I'm sure you
I
know.
was in the pool.
It was shrinkage.
Just remember, he can do this all day.
Mr. John Eric is saying hello to us. Say hello, John. Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hey, John.
That's my boy. What's up?
As far as the 9-inch nail shirt goes, dude, it's 2023. I see people wearing 9-inch nail shirts now.
Correct.
We have never, and these people don't listen to 9-inch nails. Like Closer, the song Closer it lost, unfortunately, but it was on our sex song bracket and it made it to the finals. And people are like, "I've never heard this song before." I'm like, "Bullshit! I guarantee you've heard this damn song before."
Yeah, those people
And then I
are
say-
communists.
Well, I tell people like I want to fuck you like an animal. Oh, I've heard that song. Blah 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 blah. Like that's what the hell it is, dumbass.
I mean, but if you want
Anyway.
90s for Captain Marvel, Stan Lee reading a Mallrats script is 90s.
This is true.
Anyway, Brian, finish us out.
I gotta say, okay, USA, Captain America, all the way.
Okay, USA.
Hey,
We
hey,
got
buddy,
a blood sport in there, dude. You may have just won today. We got a blood sport reference here, man. Can he count twice for one of these?
That's-
Uh,
That's the third week in a row where we've had the same Bloodsport reference.
yeah, I've tried to weasel it in the first time, and now I'm like, I had it in my back pocket. I'm like, just wait. And I saw Captain America. I'm like, there we go. There we go.
And Brian, I think you need to take some more of your super soldier serum.
Yeah.
Brian had it the first week. I did it the second week with my name.
Yep.
And then it got slipped in. So that might be a running thing. Captain America moves on in a sweep to the next round. Jeremy starts us off, and I'm super happy as him. We have Black Widow versus Howard the Duck.
Oh, I hate to disappoint you, Freddie, but Black Widow was an amazing freaking movie, and Hopper from Stranger Things in it did an amazing job as a crazy old guy who needs to get laid. Like, it's as Guardian, it's just like, they did such a good movie for Black Widow, and it set up Yelena Belova for the soon-to-be Secret Invasion and all that. So, yeah, I gotta go with Black Widow, and it was just funny. And plus, they opened it with freaking Nirvana. So come on now.
Black Widow gets a vote. CJ.
The old guy in me demands Howard the Duck. It's one of the movies. It's kind of like the way I talk about Iron Eagle. It's cheesy, horrible in so many ways, but it's just fun to watch. It's got the right amount of humor and seriousness mixed in, and come on.
The fact that Jeremy didn't have a interspecies erotica comment just surprised me.
It's not neat. I mean, she already almost got felt up by what's his name, Back to the Future. So I mean,
Yeah, by her own future son. Yeah, that was awesome.
And on a side note, I have to say,
I meant Biff, but yeah.
on a side note, I have to say, "Sanctified" by Nine Inch Nails is a much better sex song than Closer.
I'm aware of that personally, but I also think Closer is a lot more well known.
Well, it is.
So that's why.
I'm just saying, Sanctified is the better song.
Brad, Black Widow, Howard the Duck.
Man, so I think one of the biggest problems with Black Widow is that it had absolutely no stakes, right? I mean, like, you knew she was gonna die. They haven't done anything with Florence Pugh, the new Black Widow, and they're not gonna do anything until Thunderbolts.
Yes, they did. Did you not watch the Hawkeye series?
Yeah, I watched it, but whatever, But like it so Howard the Duck. This is like a battle between two properties that I really could care less about. So, like Howard the Duck. I'm gonna go with Howard the Duck just because I want to throw a little bit of chaos in here and the interspecies, tingle my mingle, put up your dukes,
It's called interspecies erotica, fucko.
Only on the second Tuesday of the week.
I think you just say that.
Brian, Howard the Duck, Black Widow.
Anytime anyone says Howard the Duck, all I can picture is that little weird condom he pulls out of his wallet in the movie. That's literally all I can, like, I go right to that. And it was like so over powdered. It was like it had talcum powder all over it. I don't know. So I can't get that out of my head. So I got to go Black Widow because maybe I'm traumatized as a young boy in a theater seeing that. I don't know, but I'm going Black Widow.
On a side tangent, I'm super pissed about something. Uncharted beat out Leisure Suit Larry in the video game franchise bracket we're doing right now.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Leisure Suit Larry is hilarious.
Dude, Larry's my homie. That's ridiculous.
Oh, the whole
Uncultured swine. I had a conversation with my wife. The only reason she voted for Uncharted is because she's seen the movie.
Tom Holland, yeah.
I'm like, dude, no, you're voting against my pick. I had 2 picks in that entire bracket. Jeremy had like 5, or you had 5. I had 2 picks. One of them won with an almost sweep, and that one just lost, and I wasn't happy about it. Anyway, it is a tie game between Howard the Duck and Black Widow. And
but how about Assassin's Creed being out Zelda? Fuck yeah.
That had almost it had like 800 votes by the end of that poll.
I know how to share things. Yeah.
Most of our polls, by the way, for the people out there who don't vote on the bracketology brackets, they get maybe 50 or so votes on them. So having 800 votes on a single poll just, it threw me off.
I know how to get my army of assassins behind me.
I believe it is Jamie's vote, correct? On that one, Brian just voted. It is Jamie's vote, which means Jamie gets to put the nail into one of these coffins.
And
I love a good moist meter.
Listen, Linda, Mark, you do not talk to me with that tone of voice. That is so awkward. Anyways,
is their voice too moist?
Hey!
I'm cool.
We're number 1, damn it.
I'm
That's only for
cool with that
Jamie.
word. It's the other ones. Anyways, last night I happened to bring this up that I don't know what it was, but Howard the Duck made me physically feel awkward. Physically, like, how can you through the screen, and I know that this is fake, how can you make me feel this way? That's not cool. Not cool at all. And Scarlett Johansson, are you kidding me? Like, yum. Let's go there. So put the nail in Howard Duck's awkward ass coffin, because it's gonna be Black Widow.
Black Widow wins 3-2. Moving on to the next round. CJ starts us off, and we have The Dark Knight versus 1978 Superman.
Oh, Superman. All day. Superman. That was... Come on, man. Like, there was nothing like it at the time. And, I mean, I won't say it set the standard, but come on, it broke boundaries. Like, there was nothing like Superman when it come out. And
Superman 78 gets a vote. Brad.
So, man, this is actually a tough one. I mean, on one hand, you have the actual movie that Kevin Feige tells everybody, as filmmakers, everything, to watch before they make any of their movies. Before they go in to make a movie, they watch Superman 78. Like, this is how a superhero movie is made. If it wasn't for Superman 70, we probably wouldn't get anything else. However, Superman is stupid. And I have to go with The Dark Knight because Batman is better than Superman. And yeah, the Dark Knight.
Just drop it there. The Dark Knight gets a vote. Brian, The Dark Knight, Superman 78.
Oh man, a lot of good points on that. Yeah, Superman at the time, I mean, you're talking all the big names came together. It was such a huge movie, huge blockbuster. But I remember sitting in the theater seeing the trailer for The Dark Knight for the first time, and you see Heath Ledger's Joker come walking out of like a cloud of fire and smoke, and you just kind of take back and you're like, that's the Joker from the comics. That's the joke. Oh my God, this is it. And I remember like waiting in anticipation for The Dark Knight to come out. And I wasn't super disappointed. I liked it. We've talked about that before. Heath Ledger saves that movie. There's some pretty bad performances other way around, but I'm still going to say Dark Knight.
Dark Knight gets a vote. Jamie.
I'm I think this is a definitely pretty obvious choice for me. I will agree. I've always been a fan of the Batman movies. Dark Knight is one of our family favorites. We will watch that all the time. Who does not love Heath Ledger in a nurse's outfit walking away, blowing up that hospital? Like, that was just the best. I died in myself. And as
does
one
it
of
make
my
your panties
friends
moist?
said,
Jeremy, come on.
and as one of my friends says, she's really, really disappointed in how I don't like vegetables, so I can't vote for Superman.
Jesus.
Oh,
And you can refer to one of our past episodes on how awkward I believe Amanda felt about that one. Eat your vegetables, people.
Oh my goodness. Dark Knight gets another vote. Jeremy, Dark Knight, Superman 78.
Dark Knight already won at this point, right?
Nope. It is 2-1 currently.
All right. Well, the best comic book accurate Joker ever is Mark Hamill. Don't get me fucking wrong there. But fuck the Dark Knight. I think it's one of the worst Batman movies ever. And I will 100% give it to Superman 78 because the only thing he couldn't dodge and reflect off him was a wheelchair. So
My feet are on the table.
I
Dark
am
Knight
more
mo-
interested in what your daughter has to talk about than what you just said, sir. You are fucking fired.
Dark Knight moves on 3-2 over Superman 78.
no.
I was just
Reeve's
thinking what she
Superman.
said were things that Christopher Reeves had never said after the accident. My feet are on the table.
Bullets can bounce off of Superman's chest in 78, but he ducks when they throw the gun.
Well, he looked kind of stupid if someone threw a gun at him and it just smacked him in the face. So
Right.
that might just be an image issue. Dark Knight moves on 3-2. Next up, Brad starts us off. And we have Ant-Man that won 4-1 against Ant-Man and the Wasp in previous round versus Spider-Man No Way Home.
We are gonna go the Spider-Man No Way Home. No Way Home, man. It's that. Why am I? That's the newest one, right? Yeah, No Way Home. It's Far From Home than No Way Home. Yeah, that's the Spider-Verse. We got all the Spider-Man in that one. We got Toby. We got Andrew. We got Tom Holland, man, and Ant-Man just isn't good enough to compete with that many Spider-Man. So, No Way Home.
No Way Home gets that vote. Brian, No Way Home or Ant-Man?
I love me some Ant-Man, but No Way Home had it all. So yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Jamie, Ant-Man, No Way Home.
Of course, Spider-Man had no way home. His parents got killed in a drunk accident. He was an orphan. He had no way to find home.
But
You're terrible today, Jamie.
I really don't care for the Spider-Man movies, especially if you're going to put it up against Ant-Man and Paul Rudd, the man that does not age.
No. Ant-Man gets a vote. Jeremy, Ant-Man, No Way Home.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Ant-Man would get my vote if they had him do what the version of him on The Boys did in the opening scene, where he literally crawled inside another guy's unit. But I will give it to No Way. I will give it to No Way Home because is that the only place the webs come out of your body?
That was such an awkward line, and I loved it. No Way Home gets a third vote, which means it will be moving on. But CJ finishes out.
Ant-Man, 100%. Like I said, I'm not a Tom Holland fan. There's something about that kid and the way he jumps around and just,
Does that not want to eat?
you know. he reminds
I don't
me-
know if he's
He
so
reminds me of
scrawny.
the kid in 7th grade that you couldn't stand. That was always in the back of the class, telling bad jokes and acting insane and disrupting the class. And sorry,
Yeah, that was me. No Way Home moves on 3-2. Last up in the first half of the first round, it goes to Brian, starts us off, and we have Punisher versus Shazam. This is the Punisher with I can't remember the guy's name now. Damn it.
Thomas Jade or
Oh.
Thomas Jane, he's talking about, I believe.
Yeah, it's Thomas
This is a
Jane.
big
Like,
movie, right?
Not
Yeah.
David Hasselhoff. Oh no, that was Nick Fury. That was Nick Fury.
Dolph Lundgren. Well, we had a Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
no, it's Jane, but I was trying to remember the villain in that one.
John Travolta.
Travolta.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Travolta. I can see his face. Kevin Nash is also in the movie too, for all your wrestling fans out there. And of course, Shazam is the most recent one, not the Shaq one.
That's Kazam.
Which, either way, it exists. I don't care what people say. It exists. It's there. I've seen it. Brian, Punisher, Shazam.
Oh man, I'm a huge Punisher fan, and I remember having great anticipation for this. Like, had a great lineup of actors, and I went in there, and I think I overhyped it for myself, and I was a little disappointed. But rewatching it, it could be better. But oh man, it's such a. I'm gonna have to. I got to stick to my roots and say Punisher. I might be the only one. Shazam. I can't say the word. Shazam was such a great movie, but I got to stick with Punisher.
Punisher gets a vote. Jamie.
There's something about Shazam that makes me feel like I want my money back for my ticket. And I feel like I need to go to an ATM when I talk about Shazam. I'm not sure why I can't take that superhero very seriously. I don't know if it's the actor that plays him or how it's written, but I'm not a huge fan. And Punisher, Matt's a huge fan of Punisher, and I mean, I love the purpose behind the Punisher, so we're gonna vote for him.
Punisher gets another one. Jeremy.
All right. Shazam was a damn good movie. It did a really good job, but a better villain for Billy Batson would have been John Travolta. Because John Travolta and little boys. I mean, come on. But I 100% though will go for Punisher because Thomas Jane did an amazing job as the Punisher. And at the end of the movie, when he drags John Travolta on his car through fire, that was the most badass Punisher scene I could ever imagine in a movie.
Oh yeah, and then the entire scene lights up. That is great. I enjoyed that one too. CJ.
I was personal friends with John Panette, so that in and of itself, Punisher, the one of the funniest, kindest, greatest men you could ever have the honor of knowing. So, plus Punisher was a far superior movie, and like Jamie, Shazam was one of only 2 movies I've ever wanted my money back after. So, Aragon being the other one.
He was just a boy trying to be a man.
He failed.
much like Tom Hanks. Brad, finish us up.
All right, so Punisher is a good movie. However, for emotional reasons, Shazam, my kids loved it. They could sit there and watch it. I got a couple of girls, and I'm a big fan of Zachary Levi. Loved him in Chuck. I think he fit Shazam, what Shazam is, and Shazam is actually stronger than Superman. I'm going to go Shazam because you know what? Sometimes you need a little ATM in your life, and sometimes you need a little bit of Captain Marvel. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow. You got to you say the words from the weird ancient wizard under the subway, and you just got to go with what makes you feel good. Shazam.
All right. Punisher moves on 4-1. It ends the first half of our first round. We'll be right back right after this break. Looks like Jeremy is indisposed at this current time.
Back like a heart attack.
There he is. All right, Jeremy, you got an ad for us?
Oh, I always have an ad. Please come check out Maniacal Music Musings, the show with 2 guys and 1 guest. Not that kind of show, but it can be. And we do fun stuff every week. Like later tonight, we have a rap battle for the ages. Dr. Dre's Chronic 2001 versus Tupac's Tupacalypse Now versus Ice Cube's Everything's Corrupt. And coming this weekend, or actually, no, it is weekend, coming tomorrow, a Weird Al Yankovic bracket of 52 Weird Al Yankovic songs, one for every freaking
Week of the year.
week of the year. Thank you. I want to say Dave. I'm like, that's not right. And I'm not even smoking what Brian's smoking. And coming up next month, because I will be announcing it tomorrow anyway, the artist of the month next month for the brackets will be Ice Cube. And
Nice.
And the special bracket for the month will be, because it's summertime, and I'm going to try to get my favorite Velveteen Dream for my birthday to be on it, Will Smith.
It's like a slap in the face.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, especially for him. All right. You guys seen how that's done? Brian, do you want to do yours? You want to wait?
I can do mine now if
Go
we
ahead.
have time. All right, hey guys, I'm Brian from the dailydank.com. Come check us out. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on all the Twitters, guys. We do 2 daily shows. We do a 7:10 show that in the morning, California time. A morning show that just has been off the hook. We have live interaction with the live chat, guys. We did the worst mug shots of all time, but then we played a game of guess their crime. And we don't know what they were locked up for, but we were just going off crazy. We do something called line of the day. I give a prize out for whoever has the most smart ass comment of the day. And we do that Monday through Friday. We have a 420 show, guys, where we get like movie reviews, Paranormal Tuesday, Weed Wednesday, everyone's favorite, and then True Crime Thursday. And then don't forget Friday, guys, we do all sorts of unboxings, autographs, giveaways. We're doing a Cheech and Chong autograph 8x10 right here. Boom, look at this. On April 1st, we'll be giving this away, guys. You might want to check it out. Yeah, autographed by both Cheech and Chong. All you need is Homer on there, and you have the triple threat. So, yeah, check us out, guys. dailydank.com. On YouTube is our main platform, but also on the dailydank.com.
And Brian, you're going to get me on one of your paranormal episodes.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah,
What I was about to say.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody ready? No complaints. All right. Welcome back for the second half of round one. It looks like Jamie will be starting us off on this one. And we have one for the musical ages on this one. We have Guardians of the Galaxy versus Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
You bastard!
To be honest, I mean, there's so much about the first movie I loved. There's a couple sentimental points in the second movie that got me, and I love how little Groot, like how he grows up, and it just reminded me of my stepson at the time. But I think I'm gonna have to go with the original. I want to say that stuck with me a little bit more, and the music stuck with me. I guess I was not disappointed, but almost hyped up pretty big for the second movie to have an amazing soundtrack for it. And it wasn't as great as the first one, but it was still good. So,
I'm waiting for the third soundtrack to come out because
it's gonna be good regardless. I just think nothing's gonna beat the original for some reason for me.
Well, because at the end of the first movie, he got another tape, which was revealed in the second movie. At the end of the second movie, he got the future of music, which was Zoom, which made me laugh. So what's going to be on that is going to be like they could go everywhere with that thing.
Right.
And
I think it's
can't.
the concept of the tape in the original movie for why I'm probably really stuck on the music and the storyline to the first one. The second one's good. I absolutely love that movie too. I really don't care which one wins. I just feel like maybe the introduction and how they did it for everything kind of stuck out to me. So we're just going to go with number one.
Yeah, James is going to go with number one on this one. Jeremy, Guardians 1, Guardians 2.
Well, first off, thank you, Aaron. I know you like to watch my stuff now. But 2, I have to disagree with Jamie completely. The second one had Mr. Blue Sky and fucking Groot dancing to it. Come on now. And I never even heard Mr. Blue Sky before that movie. So that introduced me to a whole new realm of music. But I will, and I also played the Lego Marvel 2 expansion with Guardians a lot, and you have to literally sit through that whole song to get an achievement. So, yeah. But number two to me had a lot funnier moments. The characters were developed by that point, and Rocket in that movie's amazing. Freaking, what's his name as Star-Lord's father? Oh my God, why am I
Russell? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, yeah. I mean, Kurt Russell has ego. Even though in the comic books, ego is just a planet. Like he never becomes a person. But still,
Yeah,
I mean,
I will agree. Their humor was a little bit better in the second movie, but
because the characters were developed and they had relationships already. And I am dying to see a third because I want to see how they bring Gamora back. But I mean, I love the second one. To me, it sticks out more than the first. I barely remember the first compared to the second. So second one all day.
It is a tie game. CJ.
Go number two. Stallone. The Stallone appearance kind of puts it totally over the top for me. It's, I love Stallone. Music of the first one, I think, was a little better than the second one, but overall, movie-wise, definitely number two, I think, was far more interesting and had better points.
And it had a good Easter egg with Stallone because he was leading the original Guardians of the Galaxy in the comic books.
Brad?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to agree. I think Volume 2 is a little bit better than Volume 1. I think those characters needed just a minute to simmer, to kind of show everything they can do. I really like the dynamic with Nebula and Gamora and that whole thing. Ego is fantastic as the villain, and we got to dig into Peter Quill's. Was it Jason? What was his original dad in the comics? Jason something. Gosh, can't remember.
God damn it! You're you're killing.
But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But
Googling it.
Yeah, Volume 2. I mean, I'm excited for Volume 3. I work in a theater, so I'll be seeing it Volume 3 before everybody else.
Emperor Jason. It was Prince Jason of Sparta.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, and you gotta love in number 2, the whole Nebula thing was it's not ripe yet.
Yeah, right.
One of the greatest moments in that movie.
Yep.
And Brian, finish us off.
I gotta say the original. At the time, I don't think anyone really knew what to expect, unless you were a hardcore comic fan. You didn't really know a lot about the Guardians of the Galaxy. A lot of people like me just Googled it, and you get the kind of cliff notes. And then when you watch it, it wasn't like anything Marvel had done to that point. The humor sprinkled into it. It was just kind of cutting edge, and it set a template for a lot of movies going forth. So I'm going to have to say the original.
And it's actually funny you say that because even Kevin Smith says all the time, who's the biggest Marvel nerd in the world, he even says, like, when I first heard they were making the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I was like, what the fuck are they thinking? It's Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not good movie material.
I agree with the pick, but I gotta disagree with the top line from that movie though. Guardians 2, the top line from Guardians 2 has got to be, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all."
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I can agree with that. I mean,
Come on.
That's the top comedic line. The top drama line is, and that's why I had to give your mom cancer. That line right there.
Yeah.
That line right there was an oh fuck moment. Like, oh no, you didn't.
Like,
I mean, it's almost like he had a big ego.
Didn't.
If I ever get a chance to get that autograph, I'm going to see if he'll sign it. That's why I gave your mom cancer.
all right, we have officially got to the point where we're finding out who's facing who in the next round. Do you guys want to know who's facing who, or you want to wait until next round matchups?
I like the surprise.
Yeah, I mean,
Surprise!
It's the debate of whether you'd rather have your wife laying naked on the bed when you get home or popping out of the closet naked. I mean,
well,
fun both ways, but I would prefer the closet.
I'll
Yeah, you do.
I will do. I will do you this. It will be a surprise unless it comes down to a tie-breaking decision, and I will give somebody the personal option who gets a tiebreaker if they want to know who they're facing into the next round. And that's how we'll go on that one. So next matchup, Jeremy starts us off, and we have Blade versus Black Panther.
Well, shame me all you want for this, but I've never seen Blade.
Shame.
I've been too busy watching shark movies for a Paranormal bracket coming out next month. But I will just say this: Wakanda forever.
Black Panther gets a vote. CJ.
Blade is next to Deadpool. Blade is like my second favorite.
Wait till they cross over in the future.
And I'm not thrilled about them making a Blade movie without Wesley, but Masahiro Hasha is a really great actor, so I think he'll probably pull it off in some kind of way. But Blade is just it's such a great movie, and Steven Dorff is just a really great villain, even though he's a scrawny little dude.
Yeah. Brad? Blade,
Man.
Black Panther.
So with Blade was great, and it still is great. But then, like, when you add 2 and 3 into it, it actually takes away the greatness of the original Blade, I think. However,
no.
Black Panther almost set new standards of awesomeness in superhero movies, man. Chadwick Boseman was fantastic in that. The entire cast is fantastic in that. And
Chadwick Boseman.
Right, I'm gonna go with Black Panther.
Get to vote, Brian.
So yeah, that's a hard one because Black Panther was such a great film. But I'm going to go off of what I feel. And I feel like for whatever reason, Black Panther is kind of disconnected from that Marvel universe, and it kind of was disconnected for me. I felt like I was just watching a standalone, and it was cool. But with Blade, man, you talked about that's the standard first superhero movie. That was done so well that a lot of people who weren't comic book fans just thought it was a movie. Like they didn't realize the origin of, where it came from. And that really drew a lot of people into that comic realm. As soon as they thought, what? This is a comic book? We need to look into this. So I'm going to go original Blade just for what it did for the industry. And definitely, I felt like it was connected to something too.
You realize Black Panther was in Civil War before he was in Black Panther, right?
Yeah, but I meant like the movie in general just feels disconnected. Like I don't feel like you have to watch any of the other ones to understand what's going on in Black Panther, and you don't need to watch Black Panther to understand what happens before and after.
I mean,
I agree with your pick. I do, but I disagree with your logic on that one because Blade, using the same logic, is completely disconnected from everything else.
Yeah.
Like you have even in the modern day cartoons of like Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends type thing, what my kid watches, which is not that bad of a show. I actually kind of enjoy sitting down and watching it with him. Black Panther is part of that show, of that cartoon. You don't see Blade anywhere in the Marvel universe within that actual universe.
Yeah,
you might in the future, but not now.
I didn't mean as a character. I meant like as a standalone movie. And then like even with Blade being disconnected from everything, I still felt like it was part of a comic book kind of movie where, I don't know, Black Panther, it's hard to explain. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel Black Panther, just a great movie, just, I don't know, disconnected for me.
I would like to.
Everything Brian said, everything. That was probably the perfect way to put it. Black Panther, it's not that it wasn't a significant superhero or anything. It's just, it's a standalone thing. It's got its own. It's disconnected for me from the comic book series. But Blade was kind of like that happy surprise that came out of nowhere. And then when you are told it's actually from a comic book and shit, you're like, oh, okay. So how Brian worded it for me is exactly how I feel too.
And come on.
So Jamie. So
I'm glad
Jamie.
everybody understood.
Shame on you both. Shame on your families. Shame on your cows.
And come on, Ryan Reynolds.
Keep the
jumps through
cows
window
out
with
of
a sticker
this.
that
Keep
says,
the
"Hello, my name
cows
is
out
Fuck
of
you."
this.
Shame on your cow, Jamie. Disregarding the fact that Jeremy just shamed you, you are tiebreaker,
Yeah,
and
so that's awesome.
you get the ability. Do you want to know who the winner will be facing in the next round?
No, because
Okay.
honestly, I'm gonna vote for the movie that I would always skip over on the TV guide, which is Blade.
Okay.
Jamie, are you telling me Chadwick Boseman shirtless is nothing for you?
Exactly.
I mean, I
There's
okay.
a lot of people that did. I'm not. I don't know. Mm-mm. And I just feel like Wesley Snipes will come kick my ass if I vote against him.
When it's not
Isn't
avoiding
Wesley Snipes
tags.
in jail right now?
Listen, I don't care. He was Blade before. He can come and go. They don't know.
Jamie wants to have that conjugal visit with him, you know?
I was about to say, like, I'm pretty sure Wesley Snipes in jail right now for like tax evasion or something like that.
He totally is. He evaded taxes. He'll evade.
He's been out of jail for like 2 years over that.
Well,
kick me in the taint if I don't vote for Blade.
The best
Blade will be moving on.
The best line of that trial was, "Blade don't pay taxes." Because he's a method actor. I don't know if you guys knew that. Anyway.
Blade moves on to the next round. CJ starts us off on this one. We have Wolverine versus X-Men Origins.
We have what versus X-Men Origins?
Wolverine.
Oh, Wolverine.
Where he travels like to Japan and stuff like that.
Oh, the Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
The Wolverine, yeah.
Wolverine.
The Wolverine gets a vote. Brad.
Oh man, so the Wolverine I think was just a really good Wolverine movie, better than Origins for sure. I know it's kind of like a little trilogy there, but I think Hugh Jackman really got jacked in the Wolverine, and he fought the Silver Samurai, man. Oh no, it was Omega Red, wasn't it? It was Omega Red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, we're going the Wolverine.
It was Silver Samurai too.
Was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it was Silver Samurai too. It was Silver Samurai, and Omega Red wasn't even in that.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, I don't remember Omega on that one, but
No, there was nobody with extending fucking mechanical arms. Trust me, they need to put Omega Red in a fucking. They need to do a Alpha Force movie and put Omega Red as the villain.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Wolverine gets a second vote. Brian.
I gotta say Wolverine, like the Wolverine. I can't remember what Wolverine movie was before that, but I remember hearing that the studio, the director were kind of saying, "Hey, this is to make up for what we just did a few years earlier," because I don't think it was well received.
The one before that, there was one with Blob and Gambit and Sabretooth and a lot of other villains.
Yeah. So yeah, that one's
Deadpool.
yeah. So this one was to make up for. I think they pulled out all the stops. I mean, you had talk about blockbuster movie, a nonstop action. So yeah, I'm gonna say the Wolverine.
Gets a vote. Jamie.
Like, I am a huge Wolverine fan. Huge. And my kid loved Wolverine when he was younger too. And I'm gonna go the Wolverine. That one was the better out of the two.
And Jeremy, finish us out.
Well, Freddie, you gotta take me out to dinner first. But what was Wolverine going against again? Because no one else.
X-Men Origins.
So so it's Wolverine 1 versus Wolverine 2, basically. But
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm gonna go for Wolverine 1. I'm gonna go for X-Men Origins because I mean, I like how they did the Blob. I liked how they did Fred Duke, but I mean, Gambit was kind of lackluster. But I mean, And I just think it's funny that Ryan Reynolds literally went back and killed the Deadpool from that movie. So,
Yeah, that was funny.
but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with Origins because I thought the Wolverine was kind of shit. Like I didn't like it at all. Like it was, I never liked the comic books even where Wolverine goes to Japan. Like I'm not an anime person. I'm not a ninja person. Like that to me just does nothing for me. Like Wolverine fighting his villains in America, that's like being soft versus being hard right there. So I'll go for Origins.
X-Men Origins avoids a sweep. The Wolverine will be moving on 4-1 to the next round. Brad starts us off. We have facing Days of Future Past. We have X-Men Last Stand.
Days of Future Past, without thinking. Last Stand is a travesty to superhero movies, and another thing where another Dark Phoenix, the Phoenix Force, overused. Man, Last Stand is horrible. Yeah. So Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past gets a vote. Brian.
I'm gonna say Days of Future Past. I like just for everything that got brought up. I kind of like the concept. It was more of an appealing movie to me, so I'll say Days of Future Past.
Jamie.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the yep on that one.
Channeling Chansey again. Jeremy.
I am not disappointed by the win of Future Past at all, but Last Stand had my namesake in college because I'm the Juggernaut, bitches.
I was waiting for that.
And I mean, Last Stand was fucking incredible. Magneto was incredible in that movie. Where's your mark? I will never have ink on my skin again. I got my mark in 1944. Like, that shit's dead ass badass. Like, I mean, Last Stand was fucking incredible. It came out my 18th birthday, literally on my 18th birthday. I saw it in theaters that day. Like, and for an X-Men diehard fan like me, that was the greatest 18th birthday gift I could ever get. And you had fucking Jamie Madrox, Multiple Man in it too. I mean, namesake of Twisted, one of the members of Twisted. So, I mean, and yes, CJ will be doing a Detroit Rappers bracket eventually on his show, and I am glad to be on that. But I 100% will give it the Last Stand because Future Past already won, and Last Stand is a damn good movie and can't get swept again.
Speaking of CJ, is it Last Stand or Days of Future Past?
Go Future Past.
But yes, to agree with whoever said it, the Phoenix Force is a way overused thing in movies. I will agree with that.
Days of Future Past moves on 4-1 to the next round. I want to start with Jamie on this one, so I'm going to skip that one and I'm going to go with Brian for this one. I'm going to go back to the other one for Jamie, but Brian, is it Hellboy or Venom?
Ooh. You know what? Personally, I'm going to say Hellboy. I just enjoyed it a little more. Not based on comics, not based on origins, just as a movie head-to-head. I just enjoyed Hellboy a little more than I did Venom. Some of the humor on Venom, I don't know, just seemed a little forced, where Hellboy seemed to the storyline flew a little better. So I'm going to say Hellboy.
Hellboy gets a vote. Jamie.
Hellboy was a good movie. I don't have anything wrong with it. It was enjoyable, but I love Venom. I don't know, that movie I really, really enjoyed. Like I probably don't sit down for whole movies without getting up several times or whatever may have you. And I think I was glued to the TV on that. So
it's that long tongue, right, Jamie?
That's what they always try to say. No, it's because he was a journalist too.
Jeremy, Venom, Hellboy.
Hellboy for Selma Blair as Liz. Oh my God. Talk about teenage using tissues up.
I would have gone with just the fact that Ron Perlman's in that movie and did a fantastic fucking job.
I mean, yes, he did an amazing job in both those movies in Golden Army and Hellboy, the original. Like, he did an amazing job, and I love Hellboy. Like, that's an awesome hero. So
CJ, Venom, Hellboy.
I want to say first off, Brian, I was born on 420, so totally got to be on your show.
Well, hey, happy birthday.
I liked Venom, but it took me a few minutes to really kind of catch the vibe of it. And I really love Ron Perlman. I'm going to go Hellboy. It's another one of the movies. It's just fun to watch. And,
it is. And Ron Perlman fit that perfectly.
Yeah, I say, and
it's anybody better than him.
Yeah, and I think
and they tried and failed.
Movies I've seen, Perlman is one of the ones, probably next to Ryan, who fits the character. Like, he was just born to play the role,
Oh yeah. Watching him on Sons of Anarchy, I'm like, stop it, Hellboy, stop it.
Yeah.
Well, his range as an actor is just like so broad, man. He can pull off a lot of different roles.
Dude, he was the Beast in a Beauty and the Beast runoff.
I was gonna say he can't pull off the Beast.
Vincent.
I mean,
anyway,
the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, the TV show on CW, was way better than he was. So,
Brad, finish it for the same reason I like Walton Goggins. It doesn't matter what they play; they do it so well. They're so believable. Whether he's playing Boyd Crowder, whether he's in Ant-Man, whether he's in Hateful Eight. The dude is just a fucking brilliant actor, and the same with Perlman. Like,
I had to Google who the fuck that was because I didn't know his name, but I know his face.
Oh, dude, Walton Goggins is like,
oh yeah, Justified. Boyd Crowder. Oh man, he killed it as Boyd
greatest
Crowder.
TV character of all time. I don't care what anybody says. Period. End of discussion. There will never be another better character than Boyd Crowder.
Yeah, I interviewed the actor that plays Dickie, little deal that had the rivalry, and man, we were talking about those two characters and just how they were such good actors and they were just bouncing off of each other and they just uplifted each other like during those scenes. Like, it was very, very cool.
Yeah. And he's a brilliant photographer as well. If you've ever seen his photography work, the dude is a brilliant photographer. So sorry, I didn't mean to get off topic.
And Brad, finish this out.
All right, so there's two characters in Marvel Comics that I continue to collect right now, and that is Wolverine and that is Venom. With that being said, they screwed up Venom's origin. And you don't have to, all they had to do is show a CGI Spider-Man swinging by the screen, and that's all they needed to do. And you gotta have the white spider on the Venom symbiote. You have to. With that, David Harbour's Hellboy would beat Venom. So I'm gonna have to go, and Ron Perlman's Hellboy is miles above that. I mean, by a lot. So yes, Hellboy. Love that movie. Yes.
Well,
Hellboy.
I mean, Brian, if you like Wolverine and Venom, you should play Midnight Suns. But
I just bought Jedi Survivor. It's on my list.
I just started playing that today.
Yeah.
Hellboy moves on 3-2 to the next round. Jamie starts this off, and going back up the board to this is a special pick for her. We have Aquaman versus Green Lantern.
Everything's better where it's wetter.
Oh man, I mean, you got Ryan Reynolds. If you ever see the movie Waiting, you get to see all that funness. But I like how you did the Aquaman thing. I like that. I mean, it is starting to rain out here, so I'm waiting for Jason Momoa to come over and take over my lawn here. So it's gonna be Aquaman all day.
At least you know why I waited. Jeremy, is it Aquaman or Green Lantern?
Well, it's good you wait to get Jamie wet. But I am gonna
I don't
have
have to wait for that. That happens all the time.
I feel like I should start singing Mr. Sandman right now.
It's
But
the fucking Sahara Desert over here when Jeremy and Freddie talk, okay? Ooh.
now you sound like my wife. But I'm gonna have to. I mean, there's a reason that Ryan Reynolds also killed off Green Lantern. Ryan Reynolds, he killed off himself when he was reading the Green Lantern script. So I'm gonna have to 100% go with Aquaman because they did that movie so phenomenally well that if DC could get their shit together and not fuck up their whole universe once again, they'd be getting a sequel to it. So
Aquaman gets another vote.
you're
CJ.
muted, maybe, if you're trying to freak out about something.
No, she's talking to Matt. CJ.
Ryan's always going to get my vote, and he'll get it especially here because I refuse to vote for anything with Amber Heard in it. So Green Lantern all the way.
Oh no! I agree. Fuck that bitch. But I mean,
Listen,
for Jason Momoa and for
my
Coach.
boyfriend is not my boyfriend's fault. Do not hold him responsible for that. I'm sorry, Jason.
Johnny Depp should have shanghaied that bitch a long time ago.
Green Lantern gets a vote. Brad. Green Lantern or Aquaman?
All right, so Green Lantern's one of my favorite comic book characters. And I actually had a podcast called Nerd Church Radio a few years ago where I trashed Aquaman every chance that I got. But I live in Iowa. I live 15 miles away from where Jason Momoa and Brandon Ruth both went to school. So I have eaten at Jason Momoa's favorite place, Waveland Cafe, several times. Now, I have to say Aquaman. Jason Momoa did something to Aquaman that should have been done a long time. They made him relevant. And Aquaman should not be a surfer, dude. He should be just what Jason Momoa is. So I got to give this one to Aquaman. Green Lantern, I hope and I pray that we get a fantastic Green Lantern. And please give me Kyle Rayner. Hal Jordan has to be the bad guy. Hal Jordan Parallax, Kyle Rayner, and Jon Stewart. This is what I want in my life. I want good Green Lantern.
It should have been Diggle.
I was gonna say on the behalf.
I was going to say it's got to be Dingle that plays it though. Like
Matt was saying Green Lantern's the worst movie ever.
Well, it's not the worst movie ever, but it's getting pretty down there. Where just out of curiosity, and I will add this out of the Spotify part. Where in Iowa are you in general?
I am. I'm in a suburb of Des Moines, so I'm like just north of there. I'm in Ankeny is the name of the town.
Okay. Because I'm not going to share where Jamie's at. She can if she wants to, but I'm in Pella.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Me too. I gotta stare at the fucking tulips. I go to Sunken Gardens to tap on the water to get Jason Momoa to answer my phone.
So I used to live in Pella.
Really?
Yeah. Well, this is several years ago. But yes, I lived in Pella. I sold cars out there in Oskaloosa before I moved to Des Moines. Before I met my wife. Yes, I lived in Pella. I do martial arts. Well, it's been about a year since I took this job that I have, but the Triumph Martial Arts is the martial arts that I did in Clive. His other school is there in Pella, Triumph Martial Arts. So if you're in a martial art, go check it out. Matt White, he's awesome.
Right next door to Walmart.
Yeah.
People in town.
Yes, they're amazing. Good peoples.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, that is awesome. So, what are we saying that Iowa wins?
A majority of the people here in this group is
if you're
from
5'5",
Iowa.
666. It's definitely Des Moines, Iowa.
Too many fucking children of the corn.
It's just, I just thought that was funny because it's Iowa. We've discussed this before. We discussed this in the backstage show with myself and Brian. That Iowa's a flyover state. It really is. There's a lot of cool shit here, but we have nationals coming up for sprint car racing. We have Tulip Time Festival. So if you're into Dutch culture, we have Tulip Time coming up here in next weekend.
Terrorists. They're all terrorists.
Who doesn't like spring tulips?
And you got the greatest truck stop in the world.
Yeah, it does. I-80 truck stop is absolutely great. It's not that great, but it's really fucking big. No, it's just kind of weird because we don't get a lot of Iowans on the show, and that was it's a shock to me because So kudos.
Small world, it's a small world.
Brian, Aquaman, Green Lantern.
Amber Heard was catching a lot of heat earlier, but I'm going to say without Aquaman, we wouldn't have got that great Jason Momoa appearance, or that fake appearance, whatever that was, where he was like, "It's Amber Turd." So with that, it's Aquaman all the way by itself.
Well, I mean, yeah, Amber Heard shits all over everything, but
My favorite Aquaman appearance was he did a commercial for something, but he was a big ass buff dude, and then during the commercial he started taking off his sleeves, and it turns out to be this weak little dude. Oh, I think it was for Snickers. I can't remember right, but I think it was for Snickers. Snickers, not a sponsor. Could be. Aquaman moves on 4-1. I was about to tell you who he's facing. I'm not going to do that. Jeremy starts us off. We have Justice League versus League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
well, one, is this Justice League regular or is it Justice League Snyder cut?
I will go Snyder cut because I'm pretty sure I know how this is going to go anyway.
You know what? Regardless, I love the Snyder cut. It's better than the original, but
Mhm.
I will 100% give it to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen because Sean Connery's last movie ever, and it was a fucking phenomenal movie. It brought together so many literary characters in one movie, including fucking Damien, Dorian Gray, who fucking has an amazing Demon and Wizard song about him. Like it brought, and so many other Captain Nemo, like so many great characters in that movie. I have to go with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
It gets a vote. I personally think it doesn't does not get the praise it deserves, to be perfectly honest. CJ, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or the Snyder cut?
Yes. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
On these podcasts, we call that a yup.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. Yup. Yeah. Whatever. Just League of Extraordinary Gentlemen all the way.
Brad, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or Justice League?
Man, as much I'm a huge DC fan, but man, with League, this should have been a franchise. If they didn't screw it up making the damn movie, this should have been a franchise. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, man. One thing I need to say: that was naughty. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
It gets
to do the voice, but I didn't want to screw it up. So
yeah, I wouldn't even try. It gets the third vote and the win. Brian,
Jamie, you got a New York City size rat in your back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I think if they wouldn't have messed up the franchise, I'm not sure. Man, how many times have they messed up that particular like group of, call it whatever you want, franchise? I think most recently the Marvel Monsters, they were trying to bring them back with the Tom Cruise Mummy movie, and they dropped the ball with that. But yeah, no, great movie.
Hey, buddy, it's Universal Monsters, not Marvel Monsters.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And you can't have a Mummy movie without Brendan Fraser. It's like
exactly.
You can't. Like that's what the problem was. Jamie, finish this out.
And The Rock.
No.
I have to say I've never sat down and watched a League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen, and I feel bad for that. But I'm not impressed with the Justice League movies usually, so I'm gonna vote with everybody else.
Okay, Jamie, if you don't watch League of Extraordinary Gentlemen next month, then shame on you and shame on your cow.
Oh my goodness. Is this gonna be like your Princess Bride issue here?
No, fuck that movie.
You are like the only people I know that does not like that movie.
Dre's future wife Emily hates Princess Bride too.
Okay, I don't really know her that well, so I'm just saying. Okay, that's one out of like thousands of people. So just
probably millions of people. Princess Bride is like a perfect movie.
Willow's a perfect movie. Princess Bride's not a perfect movie.
Willow isn't bad. Willow is not bad. I will give you that. But the Princess Bride is better than Willow. Let's just say that. But it's just. Yeah, it's what it is.
The only thing that should be a six-finger man is porn. Just saying.
Finger? Really? That's like a third leg. Come on. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen moves on 5-0. Next up, last up in this in the first round, we have CJ, and we have the Fantastic Four. This is not the new version, but
Jessica Alba.
Yeah, the only person I can remember for that movie, fucking Jessica Alba. The Jessica Alba version of Fantastic Four versus the Avengers original.
It's the original Captain America. It's Chris Evans. It's fucking Chris Evans.
Yeah, flame on.
Man, I'm gonna go Avengers. They just Fantastic Four. Either one of them was impressive, really, at all. So, Avengers all the way.
The really funny part is that out of all three Avengers movies that they had, the only one that I actually liked was Rise of the Silver Surfer, and nobody talks about it.
Wait a minute. Did you say out of all three Avengers movies?
Well, there's actually like four, not Avengers. Sorry, Fantastic Four. That's what I meant.
I was gonna say like
I wrote down the vote for Avengers and it was in my head. Anyway, that was CJ's vote.
Technically, Silver Surfer should be an Avengers movie too. He should have been in fucking Infinity War, but yeah.
It may have been in the background. Brad, Fantastic Four or the Avengers?
Man, so Fantastic Four, one of the problems with that property is it's Marvel royalty. So like Fantastic Four should be the glue in everything Marvel. Absolutely should be. But they can't figure out how to do it. I mean, like, I think they should do shorts and before and after all the movies. Throw in just one or two scenes, maybe do a TV show, something like that. Fantastic Four should be fun. As good as it was made for the time, Jessica Alba, whatever, they tried. However, Avengers, that was the accumulation of phase one. And we got Loki. We got the Chitauri. We got all of everything that several movies, the little pieces all went together to make the Avengers. So Avengers has to take this.
Though technically the Chitauri were not in Marvel Comics until that movie.
Cool.
I do say my favorite line from the Avengers though. Sorry, puny human. Makes me laugh every time. Brian, Avengers, Fantastic Four.
For me, it's Avengers hands down. I mean, it was such a great movie, like such a build up to it. You got to see Hulk versus Thor for the first time, like on screen like that, and it was, to me, it was such an epic fight. As a young adult, there wasn't a lot of things I would mark out for, and that was definitely one of them. I had to like look around, make sure no one was watching, because it kind of brings you back to your childhood. You get to see like those dream matchups, ahead of right in front of your eyes. So definitely Avengers.
Well, Brian, as long as they eventually do Wendigo versus Hulk versus Wolverine, I'm down.
Oh yeah.
That'd
Hopefully
be
with
amazing.
all these purchases of licensing and all that, they can figure it all out.
With the thing needs to be in there too.
No, the original battle was in Incredible Hulk number whatever, blah blah blah. I think 123, if I'm not mistaken. And it was they run to it was Wolverine versus the Hulk. And they run into Wendigo, and then they both end up kicking the shit out of the Wendigo. So,
Avengers will be moving on to the second round, but to finish this out, Jamie.
I did not like any of the Fantastic Four. I felt like, when is this movie over? I just wasn't excited, which sucks. So it's Avengers for me.
And Jeremy, finish it out.
No, Jamie, you suck. Because the first two Fantastic Four movies were fucking incredible, perfect casting for all the members of Fantastic Four, and I mean, Jessica Alba almost.
Casting's good, but it doesn't mean the movie's
And the movie was good. The first movie was great, with a great battle, a great comic book sized battle against Doctor Doom at the end. Rise of the Silver Surfer, like Freddie said, I know, Moose, right? And Rise of the Silver Surfer, like Freddie said. Yeah, Moose, I get it. Shut up now. But Rise of the Silver Surfer, like Freddie said, is an amazing fucking movie. They did Doug Jones did Silver Surfer pretty fucking good. Though he should have been in Infinity War because it was supposed to be him warning Doctor Strange about Thanos instead of Hulk. But still, I mean, I will give my vote to Fantastic Four all fucking day. They did an
It's
amazing
like
job with that movie.
monotone. It's like monotone with
No, it's
Silver
not. It's-
Surfer and Fantastic Four. Even with some of the cast, I'm just like, it feels like this the whole time.
No,
I'm like,
I
are we
was in high
going
school.
anywhere?
I was in high school when those movies came out, and I fucking loved them. Like
Man, you are worked up over this. This is exciting.
Fantastic Four is one of the best comic books ever. Like, and they cast.
Oh, comic book, yes.
It did. It did lose to the Avengers though, so it's not like it lost to like Howard the Duck or something like that. So it's like,
yeah. Oh, I would have definitely voted Fantastic Four. Are you kidding me?
I mean, it shouldn't lose to almost. There's very little it should lose to in this bracket, but I mean,
yeah, I know, but I had to pick something off the top of my head.
Avengers, the fact that it's so. How do you keep calm all day? Big bag of weed. Like that's one of the greatest. Where the fuck did yours come from? Apparently,
I thought he was asking me a legit question. I'm like, wait, what?
No, apparently my kid just climbed over the freaking barrier in the dog fence and came in the basement the other way. Fucking gymnastic skills, I swear to God.
Came in the basement the other way.
Ninja.
All right. The Avengers moves on 4-1 to the next round. We'll be right back right after this break. CJ and Brad, you've seen how the ads were done previously. If you can do one if you'd like. If not, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, I can always do one.
Go ahead.
All right. I am the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, the host of the Fandemic. If you like multiple shows a week, I have them on my podcast. I start off with a Lone Star Reviews where I take the worst reviews of the things you love, and then I give you my 2 cents worth and a penny for my thoughts. And then I also take movies, and my buddy and I, Brian, stands for the S stands for we fill in the blanks. We take and we prevent. We tell our stories of the stories that could have happened before your favorite movies, and then we also tell you the stories that could have happened after your favorite movies as well. That's the Fandemic. Thank you.
All right. CJ, you want to go?
Sure. I'm the music god CJ Plain. I am the host of the Noise Report, and soon to rise from the dead is the Racket Brackets. On the Noise Report, we interview cool and interesting people from all over the world about anything related to music, movies, and random pop culture. For the Racket Brackets, we're going to have brackets for everything under the sun. Music, movies, wrestling, sports. We're going to do things such as the greatest of all time series, which will include the best black comedies, best rappers, best metal bands, hip-hop duos, and hip-hop groups. We're going to have best TV dads and best TV moms, worst Christmas presents of all time, and junk like that. So if you want to jump in any of them, hit me up.
And for Freddie, I'll say as long as best TV dads includes Bluey's father.
Yeah, Bandit. No, definitely Bandit's on there. He did. We did TV dads for bracketology. Bandit won that. Like I think he beat out Uncle Phil in the finals.
Which is a travesty, a fucking travesty. But yeah,
it's Bandit though, dude. Like can't go against him.
My kids don't even watch that show anymore. Man, they outgrew it.
I love that show, dude. I'm 37 years old. I love that damn show.
See, Moose agrees with me.
Maybe agrees with me. It's a dog.
I have a feeling the group that I have coming on for TV dads, I have a feeling I know who's going to win it, but we won't go into that because we haven't done it yet.
Well,
so.
let me ask this: who you think going to win it? Do they like pudding pops?
No.
All right. We are back for round 2, and since we are back, I'd like to let you guys know that nobody has blown their load throughout the entire first round.
That you know about.
Well,
Stamina, people, stamina.
screen's kind of sticky, I guess. So nobody has blown their load yet, but we will be starting off with Brad on this one. How about Thor Ragnarok versus Guardians 2?
Ooh, this is an interesting one here. I think this is just going to come down to total preference. I think I like comic book Thor. I like the comedic Thor, which is the where he kind of took that turn there. So I'm actually going to give this one to the God of Thunder, Thor Ragnarok.
Thor gets a vote. Brian?
I'm going to have to go the same exact way. I really, really enjoyed Ragnarok. Like we said earlier, it put Thor on a whole new level. Guardians 2 was cool. I enjoyed it. But man, Ragnarok, it stood out from beginning to end. The colors, everything about it, very, very cool.
Jamie?
I am Groot.
That's Thor Ragnarok, right? In Groot.
Oh, you wish.
No, that's Thor: Love and Thunder.
I have Thunder and Lightning over here, so that's more exciting than the Thor movies. So no, I like Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know. Like I said, there's parts of the movie that I totally related to within my family, and then my little Groot growing up all cute and stuff in his little outfit. Like I can't get over it. I love it. I'm excited for the one coming up. So
I'm with you, Jamie. I would have gone with Guardians 2 as well. Jeremy, Guardians 2 or Thor Ragnarok?
This is a nut twister of a decision right here, but
You're welcome.
thank you. But I mean, I'm kind of giving this vote for the holiday special as well. But I mean, it's 100% Guardians 2 because Rocket trying to get that fucking prosthetic eye is one of the greatest things ever. So
that is honestly that humor from Rocket is so.
I mean,
ornery and fun.
when he has Groot go back and forth to that guy's bedroom like five times, like that's fucking hilarious.
And the way he loses it and like it's a full body loses it, he's like laughing his ass off. I'm about to fall out of my chair at the same time.
I mean,
it's just a comedy.
I was stoned as shit when I saw that in theaters, and I think I didn't stop laughing.
Yeah,
so
yeah, for real. I don't know how Matt fell asleep in the reclining chairs during Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but it was funny as shit.
The fact that nobody has mentioned Laserface yet kind of bothers me.
Oh yeah.
Guardians 2 gets a vote though. CJ gets the tie-breaking decision. We do not know who will be facing next, so I cannot give you that option.
No, sorry, Thor. We got to go Guardians.
Guardians with a complete turnaround on that one moves on to the next round. Ryan starts us off. We have Spider-Man Homecoming versus the Wolverine.
Ooh. Oh man. As far as movies go, I enjoy the Spider-Man movies. I think they're kind of fun. I think they're just like kind of, I don't know, just fun, not heavy movies. Where Wolverine movies, X-Men movies, kind of put a little more on you. So and I know I'm going to catch a lot of heat, but I'm going to have to say Spider-Man.
Gets a vote, Jamie.
What the hell is our choices?
Spider-Man Homecoming versus the Wolverine.
You need some more Captain America, Jamie.
Oh my! That's the problem. Definitely anything involving Wolverine, I am voting for. Yeah, screwball. Exactly. Maybe I need more of that.
I mean, well, Freddie's kicking my ball, so there you go.
It's not a sponsor, but it's getting the shit done. It's not a sponsor of the show, people, but it definitely helps. It helps me out. Spider-Man Homecoming gets the second vote. Jeremy, Homecoming, Wolverine.
Well, I personally didn't like the Wolverine movie, so Spider-Man Homecoming is definitely getting the win because as much as the Ultimate Spider-Man was the best iteration of Spider-Man ever, like the cartoon, like that literally was the best iteration of Spider-Man ever. But And as much as I think the Tobey Maguire movies are better than any of the other movies for all reasons, but Homecoming gets the fucking win because fuck the Wolverine.
He is right on that. Homecoming does get the third vote on that one, so we'll be getting the win. CJ, is it Homecoming or the Wolverine?
Yeah, we're gonna break up the sweep. The Wolverine.
Hey, CJ, I gotta ask you. I've been meaning this the whole thing. You said Tom Holland is not your pick as Spider-Man and all. Then who would be? Who's your go-to Spider-Man?
I really like Toby a lot.
Yeah.
But who was the other one? Toby.
Andrew Garfield.
Garfield, yeah.
Andrew Garfield wasn't my favorite, but
he's too emo.
No, he was respectable.
Exactly.
Like
It's almost like a mix of him and Toby would probably be a good mix to go with on Spider-Man.
Yeah, like, I don't
the
know.
three
Like,
personalities together. That's what we're.
I want to like Tom. I really do, but like I said, he just reminds me of that spazzy kid in 7th grade.
The aw shucks kid kind of, yeah.
No, the one who was always jumping around, like the ADD kid, that was always disrupting class, and the teacher always had to put in the hallway. And I don't know, there's just something about, even in Uncharted, like I loved every aspect of the Uncharted movie except for Tom Holland. Like he just made that movie unenjoyable to me. Like
that's a pretty big part of the movie too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like the black lady who played that villain, she was brilliant in that role.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg, for the most part, wasn't horrible.
Surprisingly, right? Surprisingly,
right?
I didn't see that at all.
It was a solid movie, solid written. It was filmed good, but you just got, Yippee boy over here jumping around like a damn chihuahua, like not knowing when to shut up. And it's like, Jesus Christ, somebody put a muzzle on him. Like, like, I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. He's not enjoyable for me. So Speaking of opinions,
Brad finishes out.
All right. So one word. Snicked.
I thought you were gonna say moist.
Jeremy, come on.
I have to fuck with Jamie. It's like part of my fucking thing.
Oh man,
That's not a problem. The moist is not a problem with Jamie though.
Yeah,
Fred is going to be all week.
It's one of her words.
No, that's panties. She doesn't like the word panties. Moist is not a problem.
Jamie, is moist not one of your words?
No, it's not.
See?
I thought it was panties and moist.
Whoa. When you put that, stop it.
Now, when you put moist panties together, that's a completely worse thing. But
that's a fun Friday night. That's a fun
panties
Friday night.
Panties is Jamie's problem. It's not moist.
What's the problem with moist? Like seriously, it's like my.
It's moist outside right now because it's raining. I have no problem talking about moist cakes.
Those tulips are looking awful moist up there. Or what?
They really are.
Moisturizing, man. All right. Anyway,
Ryan, a moist tulip was a fun Friday night as well.
That was a bar I used to hang out at in college. The Moist Tulip.
Tulips on an organ. Brad, finish this out.
The Wolverine, man. I like it more.
That's what she said.
Please. We needed to finish that vote so much. Jamie. Oh, this is going to be fun. I did not plan this, but I love it. Either way, we have Black Widow versus Aquaman.
Ooh. Them two together?
Dude, imagine their babies, all right?
They would be so cute. Oh goodness. That's fun. I would be. Anyways, Scarlett Johansson really is fucking good, man, but Jason Momoa, I gotta do it. It's Aquaman all day.
You mean you want to do it, but yeah.
As far as locality goes, he is an Iowan. So
right.
Jamie had more of a chance with Jason than you do with Scarlett. So
well, my chance with Scarlett is 0, so yeah, but yeah.
See, well, Jamie at least has a location down. So Aquaman does get a vote on that one. Jeremy, is it Black Widow or Aquaman?
this is another ball twister, Freddie. It really is. But this comes down to me as Marvel versus DC. And when it's Marvel versus DC in my head, Marvel always takes the fucking win. So I'll give it to Black Widow because everything's better when it's wetter with Scarlett Johansson. So.
All right. CJ, Black Widow or Aquaman?
Black Widow.
Brad?
All right, so Black Widow is a horrible movie, and it sucks so bad. So even Aquaman wins this. Put Black Widow in the ocean, whatever. That movie is horrible. Aquaman.
In the words of Stewie Griffin, you shut your mouth.
It is a tie game coming down to Brian. Is it Black Widow or Aquaman there, sir?
Ooh, I was leaning towards Black Widow, but you guys made a lot of good points. I think looking at Black Widow is almost like one of those. Ever see when a show tries to do a pilot within the show? You know what I mean? Like they're introducing new characters. That's what I felt like Black Widow was. So I think overall I'm going to go with Aquaman. I think it delivered a more entertainment. I just it resonated better with me.
Well, Brian, as a man who just watched the Good Lawyer episode of The Good Doctor,
Yeah.
I 100% disagree with you because I can't wait if that actually becomes a show.
Yeah, well, I haven't. You know what? I'm so far back on the Good Doctor. Like
So am I.
Yeah, he just started dating. That's how far back I am.
Oh, I won't give you spoilers.
No, you're very far back then. Like
Yeah.
I got to the end of like the second season where the main black girl left.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe I'm there. Yeah, I'm about in the season 2.
Well,
Yeah,
I won't ruin it for you, but he gets a lot further in dating in the future.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I saw a bunch
I'm
of
not
the
planning
previews.
on to finish it. To be perfectly honest, I lost interest a while ago.
You shouldn't. It's an amazing show still.
No, it is. I have other shows to watch.
No.
What a great actor! Speaking of great,
He really
actors,
is, dude.
Yeah.
Freddie
Bates
Highmore.
Motel,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Factory, Bates Motel. Like he's an amazing fucking actor.
even as a kid, man. Like, wasn't he in the remake of Willy Wonka?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Charlie and Chocolate
Yeah.
Factory. Yeah.
Jeremy starts us off as Aquaman moves on 3-2. Jeremy, go. Is it No Way Home or League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
It's gotta be No Way Home. I mean, and Cowabunga. I mean, I haven't heard that, but if they cast Dr. Doom as a female, I will literally fucking put out 5,000 TikToks in outrage. Literally.
Now,
Don't change genders. Don't change races in comic book movies. Like, fuck.
would it be like his daughter or something like that?
No.
I say I'm not a fan of the Fantastic Four, like the comic book, so I don't know what the storyline is. So
he has no fucking daughter. Victor Von Doom doesn't get laid. So
I can imagine, like, I think done right, Dr. Doom as a Marvel villain could be massive. I mean, if done right, so they need to tread lightly.
Well,
I think they should handle it with kid gloves.
put it this way, Brian. There's a reason they're starting off the next phase with Fantastic Four. Because Dr. Doom will be that phase's big villain.
Yeah.
And, I mean, in Moon Knight, the guy was carrying crates that said Von Doom Industries on it. So
Yeah, saw that. It's coming.
But what were the choices again there, Freddie?
it's No Way Home or League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Fuck gender swap casting. Fuck that shit. I will protest that shit to the end of my days. But No Way Home. I mean, it's gotta be No Way Home as far as superhero comic book movies go. No Way Home is just a comic book movie. You get 3 Spider-Men together. It's what Spider-Verse gave us, but in live action. And watching the 3 of them like talk and like compare like their lives is just. And they finally gave Andrew Garfield the chance to save the girl. I mean, yes, they killed off the hottest Aunt May ever in that movie, but still.
Yeah. No Way Home gets a vote. CJ.
Whatever is opposite No Way Home.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen gets a vote.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen all day.
Brad?
Straight up Spider-Man on this one, man. We got the No Way Home. We have to go there.
It gets a vote. Brian?
Yeah, No Way Home. Like you were saying, like the interaction between the three Spider-Man are freaking epic. The one line I really like is Andrew Garfield talking about after he lost Mary Jane, and he was like, what does he say? He's there was a certain point where I just stopped holding back, and I just
Gwen
stopped giving
Stacy.
him.
Gwen Stacy, not Mary
Gwen
Jane.
Stacy, sorry. Got my multiverses all mixed up, guys.
Yeah, they did the Taskmaster, and that was a fucking horrible disappointment. So yeah,
Yeah,
just saying.
yeah, but I love that line. It really like shed a human side to Spider-Man and all that. Not that like I think all Spider-Man's very humanized, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go Spider-Man.
And the fact that Ned could be the next Doctor Strange, like that's pretty fucking
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
No Way Home gets a vote, leaving League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in the last round. But Jamie, what is your vote?
Never seen that movie, like I discussed earlier. Never been a huge Spider-Man fan, but at the same time, I do slightly enjoy it. And I guess in honor of us doing the Spider-Man little cute pose for your family photos one time, Freddie, I will vote Spider-Man. I'll vote Spider-Man.
Oh, you mean his Man War pictures?
No,
It's a completely different one.
Oh,
that wasn't Man War or Dude War. That was a Manternity pictures. So, which was a blast. I would recommend all you guys out there, if you're just for shits and giggles, find a photographer that will do this, the entire Manternity, and see if you can like stick your stomach out. Some people don't have much of a problem with this. Stick your stomach out. Do pregnancy photos for your wife. It will be like one of the funniest either Mother's Day gifts or birthday gifts or Christmas gifts, especially Mother's Day gifts. I think it would go well with Mother's Day gifts. It's coming around the corner, by the way. All you guys out there, do not forget that. It's a couple weeks away. It actually is a couple weeks away from like tomorrow. So,
Jamie, are you telling me he didn't shoot his web for you during the pictures?
Oh my Jesus.
No, her husband was there.
With family photos and fun photo shit. With Mother's Day coming up too, that is a great idea. Men, keep that in mind. Getting like a mommy and me or a little photo session, even a boudoir one for her. Keep that in mind as a photographer. That is it's just a fun time. But
all Iowans who are interested in that, please hit up Jimmy Forrest Sparks.
Yeah, I'll help you out. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do Spider-Man. I've never been a huge fan of Spider-Man, but I've never totally disliked that superhero. So since I've actually seen most of those movies, I'm going to vote that.
Spider-Man gets a vote. It is No Way Home. Moving on to the next round, 4-1. CJ starts us off, and we have X-Men 1 versus Blade.
Blade.
We'll be getting a vote on this one. Brad?
Man, think of what could have been if Blade entered the X-Men universe and all the shit he could fuck up. So, you know what? I have to go X-Men on this one, though. That movie, I'm a huge X-Men fan. The casting was just so good. X-Men.
Brian?
I'm going to say X-Men because again, like we're getting down to the granular level now. It just resonated a little more with me. I knew it was a comic book movie going in. I didn't realize that with Blade. Great both films, but if we're getting down to that level, I'm gonna have to say X-Men.
Jamie?
For sure, X-Men. I absolutely loved Saturday mornings and my cartoons back in the day. So when the movies came out and they casted them how they did, and just the storylines being so good with the comic books and everything, I can't get bored with X-Men. So,
and Jeremy, finish us out.
I mean, to reply to what Jamie said as she stuffs her face, all I gotta say is like fucking X-Men all day. Like, the fact that they played the X-Men 97 theme song, which is a show coming out in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness when fucking Patrick Stewart rolled out in his yellow wheelchair like in the cartoon, like that. X-Men all day. Like Patrick Stewart is the perfect Charles Xavier. Perfect.
X-Men moves on 4-1. Brad starts us off, and we have Captain America versus Days of Future Past.
Man, oh gosh, as much as I love the X-Men, and I do, Days of Future Past is one that I can watch several times. However, Captain America: The First Avenger is more enjoyable with multiple viewings. You can watch that, you can see where it's going. You had Red Skull in there, and Red Skull was done perfectly. Man, so we're gonna give this one to the first Avenger, Captain America. He's gonna be able to do this all day.
Gets a vote. Brian.
I couldn't have said it any better. Like, he just read my mind. I'm gonna have to say Captain America.
Gets another vote. Jamie, there you are.
Oh yeah, I'm here. Just stuff on my face. It's gonna be X-Men all day.
You're awesome.
My
X-Men.
favorite cartoon.
X-Men gets a vote. Jeremy.
Wait a minute. How did Jamie change her shirt and we didn't see anything? That's sad. But
That's not a shirt. This is a DVD.
Oh. Trying to get me fucking hard, girl. Like, but it's X-Men versus what?
Captain America.
Days of Future Past, right? I gotta give Days of Future Past because it's a better. I mean, yes, Captain America: First Avenger is an origin movie, and the video game for it was pretty fucking dope. But which 100%. But I gotta give it to X-Men: Days of Future Past because they held up the storyline in the comic books pretty fucking well. Besides, like, no Bishop really, and besides, like, in the beginning and the end. But like, other than that, and no Cable, which kind of pissed me off. But I mean, Days of Future Past is just
so. Besides the beginning and the end and the main characters of the storyline, they do a good job.
I honestly think so. I mean, yes, it should have been Kitty Pryde, but Kitty Pryde wasn't. And honestly, fuck Kitty Pryde. Yeah, she gets down with Colossus in the comic books, but fuck Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would want to, but
I mean, well, put it this way: she can make herself phase into a part of your body and then rephase, and then talk about Deep Blue Sea, gentlemen. So, but yeah,
CJ, it is a tie game. It is 2-2, which means you are the deciding vote. With the deciding vote, and we have the opponent coming into the next round. Would you like to know who that is?
No.
All right. Is it Captain America or Days of Future Past?
Got to go with the Captain.
Captain America moves on. And with that, by the way, there are no more sweeps going on to the next round. Captain America was the last one that did not have a vote against it. Now it does. Brian starts us off, and we have The Dark Knight versus Hellboy.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I'm gonna say Hellboy. I kind of enjoyed the adventure a little more. If I'm thinking like superhero movie, I know Heath Ledger kills it, but we've talked about it before. There's a couple performances in there. Maggie Gyllenhaal. I'm not calling anyone out, but that just kind of take me out of it. But yeah, so I'll say Hellboy.
Hellboy gets a vote. Jamie.
Hellboy versus who?
The Dark Knight.
Why? Dark Knight. They're just all around. Not just Heath Ledger and everything. It's like everybody in Dark Knight. I was probably the most impressed with that movie out of all the Batmans. So I'm gonna Dark Knight that one. Yeah.
Dark Knight gets a vote. Jeremy.
Well, I'm gonna put the Dark Knight back in the grave where it belongs. Hellboy.
CJ.
Hellboy.
Yeah! Fuck yeah!
Hellboy. Heath Ledger was the only part of the Dark Knight I enjoyed.
That surprises me. Brad, finish this out.
Man, I think we may have just had a Mandela effect where world separates here, where at some point that Hellboy is a better movie than Batman: The Dark Knight.
No, Brad.
Oh.
We just didn't have Uncultured Swine voting on it in the first 4 votes. That's all.
Man, why so serious? Let me tell you a story about how I got these scars. Just kidding. Dark Knight is way better than Hellboy.
Hellboy moves on 3-2. I would have gone with The Dark Knight as well. Personally, I do love Ron Perlman in Hellboy, but it's one of the few parts of that movie that I absolutely love.
I am so happy to this. So happy.
The Dark Knight is, as far as film goes, is the actual better movie. Like, when do you ever see Hellboy on like a top 100 list?
Never, because it's a horrible movie.
Because people are Uncultured Swine in this fucking universe.
Although I am glad that Hellboy moved on, because that means who it's facing, who only I know now, will probably get an easy win, hopefully. So, last up in this round, Jamie starts us off. And we have The Punisher versus Avengers.
Oh, The Punisher. The Punisher. I enjoyed the Avengers, don't get me wrong, but when I think of The Punisher, I think of my old man. So, The Punisher.
There's a reason behind that. It's probably not what you guys are thinking out there, out in Spotify land.
Yeah, no, not like that. I do insert foot in mouth all the time. I do understand that little connection there, but no, he really enjoys the Punisher. He has a lot of Punisher shirts and stuff like that, and that's one of his favorite superheroes, the anti-superhero. So that's why, not because of awkward Nazi time.
I was gonna say.
Well, I wasn't even saying that, but
I was gonna say, Matthew, what are you doing over there?
He ain't even in here right now, actually, so he could probably hear me though.
Punisher gets to vote, Jeremy.
Well, one, I was gonna say the Punisher is the name of Jamie's sex tape, but I will 100% give it to the Avengers because I love both these movies to the fullest. But if we're talking true comic book movies, then the Avengers movie was so almost comic book accurate. It actually made me happy. The only people they were missing were Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, yeah, if they had Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne in that movie, it would have been comic book accurate to a fucking T. So, besides the whole Chitauri, fuck them, it should have been the Skrulls of the Kree. But yeah,
Avengers gets to vote. CJ.
For the Pernette character, for the Kevin Nash character, for Travolta being such a revolting bad guy in it, Punisher.
Wait a minute. Why wasn't the Punisher in our Wrestlers and Movies bracket, Freddie?
I'm pretty sure he was. No, because Kevin Nash was in another movie that was already in the bracket.
So, The Rock had like 5 movies in that bracket, didn't he?
But other wrestlers were in those movies, though.
I guess.
So that's the reason why. If you guys want to check that out, there is a Wrestlers and Movies bracket, Royal Rumble time 2022-ish.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to have the privilege to go down to Royal Rumble 2022. I really wish it would have been 2023 because 22 kind of sucked. So, Brad, Punisher or Avengers?
Wow, so that's 3 for Punisher, right? So Punisher moves on.
It's your vote.
My vote. All
No
right.
pressure.
Well, I cannot put up. We can't let us continuing down this Mandela effect that was just started when The Dark Knight lost. So I have to say the better movie, the better comic movie, is what brought Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the worst Hulk, all together to smack around Loki a little bit, the Avengers.
Don't forget Black Widow and Hawkeye.
I already forgot about Black Widow, man. The movie killed it for me.
And that's not the real Hawkeye. The real Hawkeye is in MASH.
Fuck that noise.
This is facts.
Like, I'm Hawkeye. Anyway, that brings it to a tie game to finish out round 2, and Brian gets the final deciding vote. With that, you have the ability to find out who it will be facing to see if it sways your vote. Do you want to know?
No, I'm good. Like I said, I'm a huge Punisher fan. I think I was a little disappointed. I had built up my expectations when I went to see it in the theater. But I also had big expectations for Avengers, and it delivered. So I'm going to say Avengers.
Avengers moves on. 3-2. We'll be right back right after this break. Everybody has done their ads, so I don't really have to worry about it this time. Everybody okay with keep going on?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely not.
Unless you want me to do a Paranormal Normal ad, I could do that.
Well, I mean, you can if you want to. I'm pretty sure I still have one for the Spotify whenever you come up. So
Okay, there you
on
go.
the show.
There you go.
If you want to go like if you have anything special coming up, go ahead.
Well, actually, yes. Please, folks, be sure to check out Paranormal the New Normal, the number 4 Personal Journals rated podcast out of 100 on Good Pods, where we tell a story of many people who have seen the devil, have been abducted by aliens, have communicated with aliens, mediums, psychics, animal communicators. We got a lot of those lately. And if you want to hear about what it's like to talk to an alligator, that's coming up soon. So be sure to check it out, and be sure to check out in May when we have our shark movies bracket, because we're going to give you another reason to want to stay out of the water.
Welcome back for round 3 and beyond. There are no more breaks after this. We will be finding a winner to move on to next week to face their winner of next week. And it looks like Jeremy starts us off, and we have Guardians 2 versus X-Men 1.
Well, twist my nuts and call me Charlie, but I mean, we're going to have to go with X-Men 1. It started out fucking superhero movies. I mean, yeah, fuck Blade, but it started out superhero movies to the fullest. Like, it started out the team superhero movies to the fullest, and superhero movies to those who matter in fullest. So, yeah, it's fucking X-Men all day. Snick, bitches. But
X-Men gets a vote. CJ.
You got X-Men and who again?
Guardians 2. While CJ is...
I think I'm going to go with Guardians.
All right. I would like to reiterate, because these matches are getting harder, that nobody has blown their load. So keep that one in mind. Brad, is it Guardians 2 or X-Men?
You know what? I'm going to have to call Jeremy Charlie here, and I'm going to have to agree with him about this and say Charlie is correct in his thinking. X-Men is superior over Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. They're different times of movies. They really, really are. And as great as Volume 2 is, Charlie here is right.
woohoo, my nuts!
X-Men.
Gets a vote. Brian, X-Men or Guardians 2?
You twisted so good, Brad.
I'm going to have to say X-Men. Just the fact that, it was the original old school. I mean, Blade's right there too, but we're talking like team up. Yeah, definitely it set the stage. So we're going to say X-Men.
X-Men gets a vote and the win. Jamie finishes out.
Ooh.
I feel like X-Men, it started it all out. Like Jeremy was saying, I would feel wrong voting against what I feel started out all the great movies to follow.
There would be no Guardians or any MCU movie if it wasn't for X-Men.
There's just a lot more roots for me with X-Men, so I'll do that.
And if they didn't see the box office success of X-Men, they would never have done MCU.
Yeah, true.
I agree with your logic. I don't agree with your vote, but I agree with your logic. I am going to have to quote Dre from Masturbators on this one, that just because you're first doesn't mean you're better. I would have gone with Guardians 2 personally, but that's me. X-Men moved on.
Saying there would have been no grunge without Nirvana.
Just because, yeah, exactly. And just because you're first means you don't get sloppy seconds.
CJ starts us off. We have Spider-Man: Homecoming versus Captain America. Both of these are split decisions last round.
I get Freddie intro.
Captain America gets a vote. Brad.
Oh, so these are good. This one's a little tougher here. Captain America. Spider-Man has the better villain class. He's got the better rogues than Captain America, because Captain America's better with a team. However, they brought in Captain America to have a team. That the MCU's Captain America is not solo. Never will be, because he sucks solo. In this case, you know what? This one actually surprises me. I'm gonna go Spider-Man: Homecoming.
You're right, Brad. He's no Han Solo.
Greedo shot first. I'm kidding.
Yeah, Greedo shot first and he still died. So he's a bitch.
No, Han always shoots first.
Brian, is it Spider-Man: Homecoming or Captain America?
I'm gonna say Captain America. Like that's one of those ones that if it's on like cable or something, you can just put on TV. You can walk into it at any point and enjoy it. Like, it's just an overall good movie. So I'm gonna say Captain America.
Who the fuck has cable in 2022?
Yeah,
that's what I'm wondering.
I just assume, yeah,
Or what do you mean 2022?
Where the fuck here it is? I've been over at Brian's hitting some of his secret soldier serum. So,
he's living in the weird splintered time loop that we're now in with Hellboy being better than the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I'm living that James Franco Pineapple Express life. I got multiple stereos going. I got 227 playing.
I'll be your test.
Well, we'll be getting Hellboy in a second, but Brian, I believe this is your vote. Is it Captain America or Homecoming?
Captain America.
Okay, so then Jamie, Homecoming or Captain America?
Captain America.
We'll be getting the win on that one. Jeremy, finish us out.
Well, let me finish you out and shoot my web here, because I would totally go for Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I'm going to paraphrase that and say I saw that coming.
Like the organic web shooters.
Well, I mean, the neighbors down the street saw that coming, so how could you not?
That's what
it's like the Blob just rolling down the street.
I was going to say, that's what his wife said.
Yeah. We need some more plaster for these walls. Brad starts us off. And unfortunately, Jamie, I can't have you start this one off. This is Brad's. Is it Aquaman?
You can finish this off, Jamie.
Or Hellboy?
This. Well, I've already said I'm not a huge fan of the Aquaman character, but Jason Momoa, I'm an Iowa guy. I gotta give the love to making things wet. Aquaman.
Everything's better down where it's wetter. Aquaman gets a vote. Brian.
What was it? Aquaman versus who? Sorry, I'm having a little
Hellboy
issues. Hellboy. Ooh. I enjoyed Hellboy more. I'll be honest. Yeah, so they're both good. Hellboy. I'm going Hellboy.
Hellboy gets a vote. Jamie.
You really have to ask me?
For posterity, and dexterity.
I was gonna say, as Jeremy would say, for dexterity purposes.
Well, you need dexterity purposes when you have to make something wetter.
I would just like
And to shoot your web.
Jason for 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. Alex. What
Aquaman
is
gets the
Aquaman?
vote. Jeremy is an Aquaman or Hellboy.
Just to give CJ the tiebreaker, I'm gonna go with Hellboy.
Hellboy gets the vote. CJ is it Aquaman or Hellboy?
Y'all are gonna hate me, but Hellboy all the way.
Ooh,
I just not even close.
controversial.
I don't agree with your decision, but
I'm not mad either way.
The
That's why I want to
TVA
give
is on its
Yeah.
way. The TVA
I'm not-
is on its way for sure.
I'm not mad. Brian starts us off. We have Spider-Man No Way Home versus the Avengers.
You know what? Avengers.
It gets a vote. Jamie.
Avengers versus who?
Spider-Man No Way Home.
The No Way Home. Okay. Yeah, Avengers. Just because it seemed like every time, not just that movie, but every time I watched Avengers, I would find something new, and it was just exciting. I was never disappointed with an Avengers movie. So.
Yeah, but this is the Spider-Man movie that had all three Spider-Mans in there. So like every time you watch it, you're gonna find something new.
No, I know that, but for me, I really enjoy the Avengers dynamic, I guess. It wasn't a bad Spider-Man movie. It's just I enjoy the Avengers dynamic a bit more.
just like this show. She enjoys it being all men and one woman.
Yay!
I think one of the bad things about Spider-Man is that there's so many Spider-Man movies that they get kind of diluted every once in a while, or once you get past a certain point where you have to seriously think about which movie is which half the time. So Avengers gets a second vote. Jeremy.
See, to me, this comes down to the end credit scenes or not even the end credit scenes, but just the one scene that matters in each movie. And it comes down to shawarma versus the three Spider-Men pointing at each other, like in the cartoon. And I'm going to have to give it to No Way Home for this one.
Fart? That's what it sounded like you just said. I'm going to give it to the fart.
No, because I literally almost said Homecoming. I literally almost said Far From Home. Then I actually said the actual name. So I literally was in my head.
No Way Home gets a vote. CJ.
Avengers.
I knew that was coming anyway. So
with the win, Brad finishes out.
All right, I cannot say Avengers on this one. No Way Home is a superior movie because of everything everybody has said. We got Toby. We got Andrew, and Andrew got validation in his role in Spider-Man. He was done super dirty in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they kind of fixed him up a little bit. I got to give this Spider-Man some love here. No Way Home.
And we're supposed to be getting an Amazing Spider-Man 3 eventually because of it.
I hope so.
Avengers does move on 3-2. Jamie gets to pick the matchup coming up. Do you want to go with one? Pick one of these four movies: X-Men 1, Avengers, Hellboy, or Captain America.
X-Men.
X-Men. So the matchup you get to start off with, we have X-Men 1 versus Hellboy.
Ooh, I think
Nobody has blown their load, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll blow my load here. I'll do it.
Oh, does that mean you want to go first or last?
I mean, do you want to do a braculation?
Oh no! You know what? Yes, I want to go first on this one. X-Men versus was it Captain America, right?
It's Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Oh, Hellboy. Yeah, I want to go. I want to go first here. I want to empty my load before. Let's do this.
Dump it.
Well, Jamie already did over Momoa, so yeah.
X-Men. Hellboy is a ripoff of the X-Men. Without X-Men, there are no Hellboy. Let me ask you this. Have anybody read a Hellboy comic? If you say no, then how can you give this to Hellboy? You have to give this to X-Men. X-Men is the better movie, better made, Patrick Stewart is a better Xavier than Ron Perlman is Hellboy.
Ooh.
Ian McKellen is a better Magneto than Ron Perlman is of Hellboy. X-Men.
And that is how you prematurely blow your load like that. So X-Men does get a vote.
Now I may need some water.
Oh boy.
I mean, Brad, are you a gentrophile? Because you just blew your load over two elderly gentlemen.
I mean, what happens? Jamie.
Definitely, I thought maybe I was gonna be voting and go nowhere because I had a feeling Hellboy would win for some reason. But after what he just said, maybe X-Men has some hope here because I'm gonna stick with my Wolverine, my Storm, my Gambit, my Rogue. I want it all.
Do you know what happens to a frog when it gets struck by lightning?
The
Same thing to everything else. That's one of my favorite fucking lines from any superhero movie. That's one of my favorite lines. And it's just not talked about. X-Men gets another vote. Jeremy.
Well, I'm just gonna say X-Men gets the fucking win because it's just. And yes, Brad, I have read a Hellboy comic book, but I still will vote for X-Men because it's a better overall comic book franchise to begin with. And I would love to see a crossover, without a fucking doubt. I'd love to see a crossover one day if Dark Horse and Marvel want to work together, or Image, whoever the fuck is Hellboy now. But I mean, 100%, it's fucking X-Men all day. I mean, and Halle Berry in a leather suit. Fuck yes.
X-Men moves on to the finals. CJ.
I would have went Hellboy.
And Brian.
I'm gonna go X-Men.
X-Men. So it is a 4-1. That load was successfully blown. Next up, Jamie does start us off, and we have Captain America versus the Avengers.
I feel like Captain America standalone wise, somebody mentioned it earlier. He's kind of not a boring character superhero, but he kind of needs more to him. And so for me, I'm gonna go Avengers. Is that what they was up against?
Yep. Avengers gets a vote. Jeremy.
I evidently need more Captain America in my life.
Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
Ideas for my next show. But yeah, I 100% am going to go with Avengers as well because, I mean, Captain America solo is just not as good as Captain America with a team beside him because he's a leader. He's not a solo artist. I mean, even in the comics, he always usually has someone on his side as a sidekick. So whether it be Falcon or any of the other ones that have been there throughout the years, it's always somebody. Or Bucky, if you want to go that way. But
CJ?
So we got Captain America versus the Avengers. That's where
Yep.
I'm going to go with the one that's just more fun to watch, I think. And I'm going to go with Captain America. Avengers might be a better movie per se, but Captain America is more fun to watch.
I agree with that. We were talking about this entire concept during the action movie bracket, and I think that a lot of the action movies, even though they're not like the best scripts or anything else, they're just more fun to watch.
Yeah.
And which is why I think that's the reason why Crank made it so far in that bracket is because it's a fun movie to watch.
Look at any Van Damme movie. They're not great scripts. They're just fun to watch.
Yeah, they're just fun to watch, and that's the reason why it went. Anyway, Captain America gets CJ's vote. It would have gotten my vote as well.
That was a plot twist for me. I really felt like CJ was going to, like, hands down be like Avengers. That was quite the plot twist.
I like Avengers. I really do, but Captain America it's a fun movie to watch. Like there's good humor and there's good action and there's just a lot of great things about Captain America. So
he could do it all day.
Anyway, Brad.
Man, so I mean, really, when you're talking about Captain America, the whole reason we got Captain America was for him to lead the Avengers. and that starts in the Avengers. The Avengers is a better movie. It's a popcorn movie, and we got to see Avengers versus X-Men. So I have to give this to Avengers.
Oh, if they do an Avengers vs. X-Men movie someday, I will straight blow my load in the theater.
They have to. They're going to run out of ideas sooner or later.
They have to. I mean, but it will be probably 2035 by the time it happens.
After Secret Wars.
Way after Secret Wars.
And Brian, finish this out.
I'm gonna go Avengers. Captain America set the stage, but Avengers knocked it out of the park.
All right. To find out who our third place winner is, looks like Jeremy starts us off, and we have Hellboy versus Captain America.
Hellboy. I gotta go Hellboy. It's a more entertaining movie to me.
It gets a vote. CJ.
Hellboy.
Brad.
No hesitation, folks. None there.
So I'm actually going to give this one to Hellboy as well. Hellboy is Selma Blair's amazing. Man, yes, Hellboy is going to take out Captain America the first time.
I mean, he would have come anyway,
Fuck
but yeah.
this. What the hell? You were just dogging on Hellboy like 2 seconds ago.
I know, because I just think this is hilarious.
He broke on through to the other side.
Brian, Hellboy, Captain America.
I'm going to say Captain America just to give it some love. It's getting
A little love. And Jamie finishes out.
Oh boy. Hellboy.
I would have gone with Hellboy as well. And Hellboy does win 4-1 on that one. It gets third place. Finals. CJ starts us off. CJ, Jeremy, Jamie, and Brian have not blown their loads. This is your last opportunity to do so in this episode. We have X-Men versus the Avengers. CJ's turn.
I think in this one, I kind of got to go X-Men. I mean, Patrick Stewart, another character, another person born to play a character. And I think it's just a stronger movie than Avengers, truthfully.
X-Men gets a vote. Brad.
So I'm a pretty big X-Men fan. And when you're talking about Marvel, to me, the X-Men universe or the X-Men area of Marvel Comics is just more interesting to me than the Avengers part of it. I feel like there's more there. And in X-Men, we had Patrick Stewart, we had Ian McKellen, we had Hugh Jackman, we had Halle Berry, we had such great castings for this. Beast. Oh gosh, I can't. Was it Kelsey? Oh, why can't
that was Kelsey Grammer? But that was into the third movie. But yeah,
yeah. Who was Beast in the first one? Oh, he wasn't introduced into the third. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to give this one to X-Men. Love it.
X-Men gets a vote. Brian.
I'm going to go different. I'm going to go against the grain because I think I know how this is all going to end up. But I'm going to say Avengers. For me, it was more modern, there was a big gap of time in between the two. But I love the build-up. X-Men, I know it was the first one, but it just kind of threw you into it, where Avengers started out with the Iron Man. So you kind of knew exactly what was going on. I'm going to say Avengers.
Gets a vote. Jamie.
I'm assuming she's dancing to the X-Men theme song. But...
Yes, I am. X-Men. I don't have a favorite character on X-Men at all. And that's like the crazy thing to me. Usually I'm stuck on one. Like I started with Storm and Wolverine but every time a new character unfolded over the years and just in general, and then the recasting of some of them in the movies, then later on, I'm like, damn it. I'm still impressed. That takes a little bit of extra work to impress me for that long. So, giggity goo, it's X-Men final vote.
with that, X-Men does get the win, but Jeremy finishes out.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have a tiebreaker here possibly, but I mean, yeah, it's 100% fucking X-Men because without X-Men, there'd be no Avengers. And I mean, and X-Men had better villains by far, and they could do far more with X-Men universe in the movies than they do with Avengers. I mean, X-Men touch on so many social topics like fucking hate groups and whatnot that Avengers doesn't touch on. So
you get so much more into the actual. Ironically enough, you get more into the human element on X-Men than you do in like Avengers, which is again considering they're mutants. I thought that was kind of an ironic topic. I'm surprised that only one person blew their load in this entire show.
it didn't need to be blown.
Yeah, and it didn't need to be. Well, I mean, his speech may have swayed some votes. I don't know, may have. I'm surprised Hellboy beat Aquaman.
I'm not.
Yeah, to be honest with you, me too. I really felt like because of how I noticed the interest in Hellboy in the beginning of our bracket. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, I don't disagree, but hot damn, didn't think he was that popular.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, Hellboy beat Venom, The Dark Knight, and Aquaman.
Mad about the Dark Knight a little bit, to be honest. I won't.
And then it lost to the eventual winner, but still got third place. So
I mean, the fact that Dark Knight didn't make it to the finals and win like it did on Masturbators is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. So
now, and I don't know who would win against Hellboy in the Avengers, to be perfectly honest, because
it wouldn't.
I don't know. Like I would have gone with Hellboy, to be perfectly honest. I'm not a fan of like a majority of the Avengers movies. When they're in a group, I prefer them solo. Because I'm a fan of backstory. But that's me. So anyway, that is our show this week. X-Men 1 moves on and wins the show. We'll be facing whoever wins next week. Brian, where can people find you?
Hey guys, check us out, dailydank.com or thedailydank.com, on YouTube, on Instagram, on all the normal platforms, guys. Check out our shows on YouTube, and if you want more information, check us out on the dailydank.com. Have a dank of a good time, guys.
Jamie?
Oh, you can find me on the Book of Faces, Instagram, Snapchat, under my name or under Slipknot Chica. I don't have Twitter anymore. I don't think I want to get Twitter back. But yeah, you can find me in all those fun places or at 90s Theme Night tonight at Hot Shots.
Jeremy?
Well, Jamie working behind a bar, talk about hot shots, but I 100%. You can find me on Paranormal the New Normal, Maniacal Music Musings, and Global Strangeness Podcast. And you can also find me on the web on Facebook as Jeremy Bryant or Paranormal the New Normal / Maniacal Music Musings Podcast with an S Facebook group. Name change coming soon. We're working on that. You can find me on Twitter and the Gram as @JuggaloBastard. And you can find me on TikTok as @JuggaloBastard Podcast. And you can find me on both YouTubes as on YouTube for both podcasts as the podcast names.
Oh, Tiki Talkie. That was great.
CJ?
I can be found on YouTube as The Music God Reacts. That's my music reaction channel. It also has my Noise Report podcast there currently. It's going to have Rocket Brackets there as well. The website is riotonthesetmedia.rocks. Or on social media, just type in Music God CJ playing all one word, and you'll find me on TikTok and Facebooky and Instagram. And I'm kind of like Jamie. I have a Twitter, but I don't think I've used the damn thing in like 6 years. So I won't guarantee you what's even on the Twitter site. So yeah.
And Brad?
You can find me pretty much on all social media under the Fandemic. Fandemic 1, 2, or 3. Get until you see and until you find me. You can also order my kids' books on Amazon, Leveling Up My Awesome, and Stuffed Animal Night Force versus the Dream Invaders.
Speaking about being awesome, by the way, and a fellow I have a tattoo that says being weird is just a side effect of being awesome.
That's all. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
It's a Calvin Hobbes tattoo.
Sweet.
Anyway, I am your host, Freddie Fisher. You can find me on Facebook. While you're on Facebook, check out Bracketology. We have 2 polls going up every single day. Currently, it is video game franchises, which was, believe it or not, one of Jeremy's ideas, because he and 5 other people won the previous bracket and got to choose not only the topic, but like 5 things to go in there. So go on and vote on that one. We are also doing spoof movies. We just did spoof movies here, and now everybody else gets a chance to vote and figure out what's going on there. And votes changed. So not all of our winners won over there, and you can go ahead and vote along with that. On Twitter, I'm at Fisher777. We're all at Bracket Pod. And on Instagram, as always, you can find me at Can't Lick Me. Not one word. I will leave today's show. We lost somebody who's personally very special to me. It might be special to you guys as well. But sick as a child, you relied on 3 people to get you through the day. One was Bob Barker, unfortunately gone. Another was Mr. Rogers, again, unfortunately gone. And we lost a third one, my personal third one this week, and that was Jerry Springer. So I will leave you with these words. He left with every single show, and that is this: is take care of yourself and each other. Have a good week, guys.
Peace.